I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Hello, Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network listeners. I am Jeff Hawkins, co-host of Shake Them Ropes, with a very special announcement. If it's been a while or you've never listened to us before, the original gang is back. Myself and Rob McCarran, back talking wrestling. We have no idea where this show's going to go, where we're going to keep any of the old bits or any of the old things in there. It's going to be a process. It's going to be a journey, and we'd like for you to come along with us. Only on Shake Them Ropes on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
You are listening to the Flagship Podcast with your hosts, Joe Lanza.
You've told me like 4 times. I can hear you breathing. Stop breathing.
I don't think I said stop breathing. To be honest, I did not say stop breathing.
Rich asked me to stop breathing.
I wouldn't be the first person in the wrestling world to tell you to stop breathing.
And after this show, you won't be the last.
And Rich Crage.
Joe, are you ready for Roadblock End of the Line?
Roadblock End of the Line.
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 Roadblock End of the Line. Roadblock End of the Line. Roadblock End of the Line. Roadblock End of the Line.
Roadblock End of the Line. Roadblock End of the Line. Roadblock End of the Line. Roadblock End of the Line. Roadblock End of the Line. Roadblock End of the Line. Roadblock End of the Line. Roadblock End of the Line. Roadblock End of the Line.
Roadblock End of the Line. Roadblock End of the Line seems to have some buzz. There's a lot of buzz for Roadblock End of the Line.
It really does. And we are live on the Flagship Podcast. I am Rich. He is Joe. Joe, what's happening? How are you?
Yeah, I'm great.
Heard Miss Maggie move back there. She's fired up. Ready for audio.
She got caught in the curtain while the fucking show open is playing.
That's what that noise was. I heard it. I was like, what is going on over there?
She got one claw stuck and she's like spinning like a pirouette, and I'm trying to unhook her from the curtain before she pulls the whole curtain rod down from because all of a sudden she's running up and down the stairs and she's going behind the curtain and peeking at me, and she got caught. She got her nail caught in her.
Yeah, see, that's why you got to declaw these cats. I'm kidding, people. You don't have to declaw the cats. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she got the hook. Claw, nail,
claw,
hoof.
Yeah, not a hoof. It's not a claw. I believe they're called claws. Yeah.
You know, I got to go over there and try to unhook her, but before the show starts, I hear the show opening playing, and now she's on top of the table, peeking at me over the edge of the laptop, like playing peekaboo. She didn't want nothing to do with me all day, but as soon as I put this headset on and she sees the little green light on the microphone, she's a fucking maniac. And I have nobody to help me because they all know, everybody in the house knows I'm doing the show. So they're all locked away, keeping the house quiet. And this cat is a fucking maniac. I don't even know where she came from, under some piece of furniture or something. I haven't seen her all day.
Other than that, though, doing pretty good. All right. I have something that just broke a couple hours ago here, Joe. I wanted to talk to you about right off the bat. And on this show, people are going to, we get down to business here on the Flagship Podcast. This is your first time here. We don't fuck around. That brief foray into discussion of Joe's cat, that's not what we do normally here. We get right down to professional wrestling business here. So I don't want to spend another minute off topic. Let's get to wrestling right now. I'm joking, obviously, but I did see this come across and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. So 6 hours ago, a post from WrestleTix, patreon.com/WrestleTix. They must have a Patreon subscription. Great work there by WrestleTix. So they posted 6 hours ago, WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday, Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada update 6 hours ago. Okay, so let's check in on how attendance is looking for WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday, because I find this fascinating to track as we're getting closer and closer to it. We're only 37 days away from WrestleMania, so we're in the home stretch here. So WrestleMania Saturday, April 18th, available tickets, 5,881 still available. Tickets distributed so far for WrestleMania Saturday, 37,520. They had 6,151 for WrestleMania Saturday last year, and we're right now with 37 days left to go, 37,520.
They're going to have to do some very creative fibbing on the day of the show, I think.
I would say they've their last update was 7 days ago. They've sold 785 tickets in the last 7 days. Now they've done a lot in the last 7 days. You would assume that would be Cody won the title. We've established that it's going to definitely be Punk and Reigns, even though everybody kind of knew that or whatever. We're starting to get the building blocks together, and they've only sold 785 tickets in 7 days. That's not that impressive to me. So 37,520 for WrestleMania Saturday, when last year they had 6,151. Sunday not faring all that much better. April 19th for Sunday. Available tickets right now, 4,931. Tickets distributed per WrestleTix, 38,470. They had 61,389 last year.
So they are only currently set up for like 42,000 tickets.
Correct. Yeah, the setup for Saturday is Saturday and Sunday, same setup. 44,210 is the setup for both days, when they had 60,000 plus in the building both nights last year.
Yeah, look, if they announce anything like over 50 and especially over 60, it's just complete nonsense. It's complete nonsense. This could be could we have a WrestleMania this year where they are unable to give us a wide shot of the entire building? That would be fascinating. There was the one what was it? They had some show in Nashville. Was it a SummerSlam? Yeah. And they very creatively only showed you one half of the building. It was half of the building. Yeah. Correct. They panned out and it was don't worry about what's going on behind this camera here. It's this half of the building is full. That's all you need to matter. And then they did there was the one Allegiant Money in the Bank was supposed to be at this stadium, and they they went to the intimate confines, I think was the word that Michael Cole used, is we're moving Money in the Bank to the intimate confines of the T-Mobile or the MGM Grand Garden Arena or whatever the fuck. I forget where they went instead. But this might be a WrestleMania where you don't want to show the whole shot, or they're just going to make the biggest stage you can ever imagine just to cover that up. Because they've been kind of low on the stages lately because they've been selling every ticket they could possibly, especially in the basketball arenas. They pretty much haven't had stages and have just said, hey, we're going to sell every inch. So I don't know, but yeah, it's interesting. And if you look at the tickets, a lot of them are still floor tickets. A lot of them are still in that first level, and not a lot of you look at the ticket map. It's not a lot of the upper levels. It's the lower stuff, the stuff that's probably, in the $800 range, the $1,000 range. And I get it. I totally get why you would, you'd look at that and go, yeah, I don't know. So the cheapest ticket available, that is going down now. $177 is the cheapest available ticket. That was previously $228 per WrestleTix. So that they're dropping ticket prices there. That is for the Saturday, Sunday. The previous cheapest ticket was $254, and that's now down to $177 as well. So I think that will probably continue to go down, but like you said, it might get heavy papering, or we might just have a
we're not going to do a big wide shot. Because, I mean, that's a significant – they're set up for significantly less than they were last year. I mean, it's a big difference in just the setup alone, not just the tickets sold.
Yeah, 20,000. About 20,000 each night for the setup. So, and we're down to, about a month?
I'd say 37 days. 37 days.
37 days. Yeah, I mean, they got some time, and these are still going to be enormous houses with enormous gates. These are going to be, two of the biggest gates that they've ever done. They won't be the biggest gates they've ever done, obviously. I don't think they're going to they can't top last year. I mean, I'd be very shocked if that's the case. I think it's a combination. I mean, obviously the ticket prices at some point were going to hurt them if the on-screen product wasn't hot enough to overcome that. And the on-screen product right now is very bad. And it's not very bad. Look, we always think it's bad because they make a wrestling show that is decidedly not for us, right? So we never think it's good. But this is a bad on-screen product even among people who typically like it. And that's a massive problem when you combine that with these exorbitant ticket prices. What the fuck was that Seth Rollins segment with all the guys dressed in black mixing and matching and fucking, what the fuck was that? I mean, this is bad stuff, and their audience has not responded well to what's going on TV. The card has not come together. We're 37 days out, and a lot of the card is unknown. And
we don't know much at all. Like that. That's the thing that's really fascinating to me is that we are. And this is WrestleMania. I mean, this is kind of you want this to be the culmination of your stories and the conclusion of a lot of stories, and you want it to be either you want it to be two things: the conclusion of stories or the jumping off point for like a new whatever you're going to do, the next guy up or whatever. It's none of that. It's Brock Lesnar in an open challenge, right? It's Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley who are two for whatever. I mean that's kind of a new story, but that one's got a little bit of juice. That one I'm not going to really get on too much. Stephanie Vakir,
but they went on TV last week and shit the bed and had an awful
terrible segment. Awful segment.
Yeah. So anyway,
Stephanie Vakir and Liv Morgan, which all right, I mean, whatever.
That ain't selling any tickets.
No,
it's just listen. That's just a mid-card match that could be replaced with any other mid-card match. It's not selling one ticket.
Right, exactly. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, which is one of the more uninspired. I mean, can anybody on earth be excited about Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton?
Well, nobody is, to the point where people aren't even sure if that's actually going to be the match.
Right, 37 days away, and then CM Punk, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, well, people think it's such an uninteresting match that people still think there might be another swerve up their sleeve where it won't be Cody versus Randy Orton. So, yeah, and then the Punk Roman Reigns, which I would say is their hottest match right now, right?
Absolutely. For sure. Yeah, by far.
Their hottest match with the best segments on television, the most well-received match that they have going right now is Punk and Roman. Outside of that, it's a fucking mess. It's It's matches that have come together late.
That's it.
Matches that have been changed 100 times.
That's all we have on the books
that look
right now.
on paper, but the TV hasn't looked good. And yeah. So no, not great. And and again, when you combine that with the ticket prices, it's being reflected in what we're seeing in terms of the tickets sold. So, look, it's the kind of thing I always talk about, though. Can you ever really bury a show if they sell 40,000 tickets? And both of these shows will sell 40,000 tickets. I don't know if you can, but at the same time, there is a certain bar that's set when you're going to run a 70,000 seat building 2 nights in a row. The expectation is you're going to put more than 40,000 people in that building both nights.
Right.
So, it's up to you how critical you want to be when it comes to, ultimately however many people are in that building. Yeah,
I think it's less like being critical of that number and more a reflection of what's happened in the last year with this company. And there's like you said, there's a lot of factors that play into it. There is overall Las Vegas tourism, which is down a lot. If you want to follow the news, like Las Vegas has been hit very hard in the last year. It's just not doing very well in terms of a tourist destination to the point to where it was previously. You have going to the same building back to back in the same area back to back, which was their own doing. They weren't going to do that. This was supposed to be in New Orleans, remember? And then Las Vegas ponied up and they said, "Hey, sorry, New Orleans, fuck off. We're going back to Las Vegas." So they did this on their own. So people say, "Well, they're going back to back." Well, no, they took the money to do this. They had plans and told another city that they were coming there for WrestleMania, and then said, sorry, never mind. Las Vegas paid us, so we're going to go to Las Vegas again. So they did that on their own. And yeah, there's that factor. And then, I think it just shows to the general cooling off of the product and a reflection of the creative as well. And that can also be reflected in the card. That if you were a ticket buying person and you're saying, all right, well, talk me into the building, put a match that's going to make me want to go to the building, especially, that CM Punk and Roman Reigns is going to be on night 2, right? Like, so that if you were going to buy a ticket, you're probably going to buy a ticket for that match. That's the only match that I really think of those that I listed that you're going to say, oh, well, you know what? If I'm going to be in Las Vegas or I'm in the Las Vegas area or I want to travel to Las Vegas, I want to see Punk and Roman. Like, that's the match. There's nothing on Saturday that would make you even think of buying a ticket for that show if you were on the fence or waiting for the tickets prices to go down. So I think it's a number of different factors, a lot of their own doing, high ticket prices, going back to Vegas back to back. There are external factors like the tourism in Las Vegas right now. But I think it just reflects where this company is right now and the fact that it's so messy that is all we have. We're 37 days out and we have an open challenge, women's title, 2 women's titles matches, Cody and Randy maybe, and then Punk and Reigns, and that's it. That's all they have, and it does not feel like a cohesive WrestleMania at all. Which I think, I don't know. I feel like it's not being said nearly enough, and I do wonder also if the post John Cena, we're starting to feel a little bit of that too, where he was a big deal and he was selling a lot of tickets last year, and it's possible that post his retirement, and you really haven't Gunther. I mean. You had that guy retire John Cena. It's like, where's Gunther? What do we do with Gunther?
Levesque never has any ideas for people.
No,
he never has follow up for anything. It's he's a very creatively bankrupt book. I mean, just he relies on the strength of the brand and the strength of inherited storylines over the first 2 years of his run and things like that. It's you look at Gunther and we were all told that despite how the live crowd rejected that Gunther Cena finish and how the fans chanted at Triple H and all that the bottom line was they made a star because Gunther retired John Cena, and at the end of the day, we had a brand new massive star. Well, who's his opponent at WrestleMania? Rich?
Yeah, big heel.
Biggest heel in the business. Who's his opponent?
Let me go back to that card. 1 sec. Let's see. Brock Lesnar versus TBD.
What's the hot program that the hot new heel in the business is
Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley. Okay, so he's not in that. Let me go to night 1. Stephanie Fakir, Liv Morgan, Cody. Punk Reigns. No, he's not in any of the matches. And well, obviously they're going to parlay the hot story that he is currently involved in into the WrestleMania match. And that story is, let the people know, Joe. What's the story? I don't think there is.
Not aware of one.
I don't know either.
Which begs the question: why didn't they just do Gunther versus AJ at WrestleMania?
Gotta ask Paul. I don't know. There's a lot of things that they've done that I don't. Yeah, they always get the benefit of the doubt. We're going to talk about that a little bit later because there's something going on right now in NXT that they're getting the benefit of the doubt for and they don't deserve. But there's a lot of you've done this match and this thing and that moment and this, and it's but now you're at WrestleMania and you don't have anything.
I think Levesque is used to just the company telling the fans things and the fans just accepting them.
Yes,
because that really was the case for so long. But we kind of warned about this, that eventually these things are cyclical and that was going to wear off at some point. And I think we see it wearing off. I mean, the fans just aren't totally buying into every story they're telling wholesale anymore with blind faith that it's all just going to, let it play out and it's going to be great in the end. Because there have been so many stories that they've told that the fans did let play out, and they weren't great in the end. And in fact, they were bad, and they didn't work out, and they didn't go to good places. And I think that's part of it. Look, and as I talked about on Flagship Plus last week, there's a lot of fan discontent. And the thing is, they're listening to it. They're pivoting in some cases. They're reacting to fan discontent. They're clearly paying attention to the internet, which is something they claim to be above. They claim to be above that and not listen to the internet. Levesque has flat out said that.
Yeah.
Oh, the internet's not the real world. Am I going to
cited by me this week in an article. You talked about it on Flagship Plus, and cited by me in an article about the ESPN letter grades, which we're going to get to in a little bit, or we might even just get to right now because it actually probably works out perfectly. But yeah, the internet is not real life. And Nick Khan, I don't even search on that. I'm never on X. I don't even know what that is.
Which, listen, from what I understand is total bullshit.
Is a lie.
Which, from what I understand, is total bullshit. And that man absolutely has burners and is on Twitter and everything else.
And Paul and look, obviously cares what the internet thinks about stuff.
Yeah, no, it's clear. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it. How they immediately ran to state-friendly media to kind of put out the Royce Keys fire when people were critical. Where's Royce Keys? So they planted a story with some state media to explain why Royce Keys wasn't on TV. A completely preposterous story, of course, that nobody bought for 1 second. Getting used to WWE production. What? How come Danhausen didn't have to get used to WWE
found production? The hard cam real quick. He's like, wait, is it there? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, we can name 1,000 different acts. How come the Motor City Machine Guns a year and a half ago didn't have to get used to WWE style production and were on TV the moment they were signed? I mean, it's just total nonsense.
I would love to hear the follow-up. I would love for that to be explained further of what aspect of WWE production. I know that Mike Johnson could never possibly ask a follow-up question, but the natural follow-up question would be like, well, what specifically is he having issues with? Because I would love to hear them try to, like, the hard cam. Like, I know that Paul used to say that about the guys when they were stuck in NXT forever. Like when Finn Balor was there and Kenta and those guys were stuck there. The real reason was I'm trying to draw on the road with these guys. That's why they're here in NXT and not in the WWE main roster. Right, but he would say, oh, well, they need to know how to do entrances or whatever. So, they have these videos, and Paul loves those videos where he's showing the guy, then you raise your hand up like this and then the fire goes off. And it's like, don't figure that out. Like,
and then what I'm thinking is we'll have some dry ice and we'll have some smoke.
Right. And then you come out, you take 2 steps, you look to the left, you look to the right, you raise your hands in the air, boom. That's when the fucking shit goes up. It goes crazy. It's like, thanks, man.
Make sure you get those hands up. And when you're absolutely right. When he was running NXT, he needed those big stars, whether it was Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Kenta, you go right down the line, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, whatever era you want to talk about, Black and Gold prior to that, Full Sail era, he needed them to draw. And that's why he was probably telling his bosses, oh, no, Finn Balor, he's going to need another 18 months down here with me. You really got to hammer out a lot of the detail. That's all that was. You're dead on about that.
Yeah. So, but I'd love to know what aspect of Royce Keys this.
It's just nonsense.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Just like the inconsistent storytelling with the world title was, we didn't want the title on Cody because we wanted to use Cody to draw in the Royal Rumble and the Elimination Chamber matches. And then you just stop and think about that for more than 10 seconds. And you're like, well, hold on a second. Where's Cody going to be more beneficial as a draw? As one of 30 people in a Royal Rumble, or as 18% of an Elimination Chamber match, or in a well-built world title bout where he's defending the world title? Where is he going to be more beneficial to sell tickets and sell ESPN unlimited subscriptions and everything else? Of course, it's the world title matches. So again, just a total load of shit to cover up their messy, incompetent storytelling that they've had over the first quarter of this year. They pulled the Ricky Starks video from, everybody who put that video on their Twitter accounts via the WWE Twitter. They pulled it and everybody's got dead links. So nobody can see Ricky Saints. I think I said Starks again. So nobody can see Ricky Saints bomb on NXT with the singing. They are keenly aware of what's being said about them online, and they are being reactive to it almost like never before. So whenever they say that, they're clearly full of shit. We get on Tony Khan a lot for being too online with his decision-making at times and paying too much attention to social media. But, WWE really isn't any better, especially lately.
No, they're really not. And I think this parlays perfectly because this is a topic we wanted to talk about. So let's get right into it. The ESPN deal. What's going on this week with ESPN and WWE? So this, I say this week, but it's actually been going on for a while right under our noses, which actually is kind of funny. And Dave Meltzer kind of mentioned this on Wrestling Observer Radio this morning. It is kind of funny that this has been going on since October, but nobody really noticed because I think it tells you how many people actually read ESPN articles. Is that what basically happened is, and we talked about it at the time, WrestlePalooza in September, that's the debut show on ESPN Unlimited or whatever, and Andreas Hale, who we talked about this entire story, he graded it a C. He gave it a C rating, and that made a lot of people very upset. And if you want more details about that, I wrote about it. Free post, by the way, flagshippatreon.com. You do not have to be a subscriber. You just have to be a member of flagshippatreon.com. So you can be a free member. Just sign up there and you can read that article. But we talked about it at the time where he put that C grade out and everybody went nuts. They went wild, and how can he do this? And this is supposed to be their partner, and they're supposed to be in this together, and just a lot of very weird stuff, and a lot of like, what do you guys want? Like, what do you think this is? Like, what do you want ESPN to be in this relationship? And we kind of defended ESPN, and we defended Andreas Hale, who was like, fuck off. I thought it was a C. Like, that's all right. Like, get over it. Yeah. It's fine. It's a C, and you guys will be okay. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. He showed some guts and said, screw you. I'm going to put a C on here, and I don't really care. And then he
handled it very well.
He did. I thought he handled it quite well. He had to go on like radio shows and talk about it, but every quote that he gave was to me fine. It was like he basically just said, I didn't think the show was great, so I gave it a C. And he basically said, C's not that bad. Like, what are you people acting like C's the worst thing in the world? C's pretty good, actually. So
means it's an average show.
Yeah.
It's just an average show.
Yeah, and that's what I thought it was.
Bad show. Said it was an average show.
Yeah. So he gave it a C. I came back for Crown Jewel. Now, that got a B, and now nobody really cared about that. Everybody kind of got rid of this. I guess B's fine, or C. I don't know. The C was the big reaction point. The B, nobody really cared about in October. And then, despite the fact that I guess none of us noticed, they haven't had a letter grade since then for any WWE pay-per-view review. So Dave Meltzer pointed this out in the Observer. Post Wrestling, Brandon Thurston and John Pollock, they also dug into this a little bit this week, and they discovered, and I think this is really the smoking gun, is that Andreas Hale, who does MMA reports as well, does UFC show reviews, those all still are getting letter grades. Those all still have letter grades on them. WWE reviews after October's Crown Jewel do not have grades. And essentially, Dave wrote that ESPN basically got strong-armed into this, and John and Brandon, in no uncertain terms, basically confirmed that, ESPN had something to do with this, even though they're kind of claiming that they don't have anything to do with it. But again, the smoking gun is that he's giving grades to UFC shows still, while not giving grades to WWE shows anymore. So
also how their source didn't respond to their follow-up question.
Right.
in the art, it just dipped out. And Hale himself didn't respond to post, at least as of the writing of the article, which is a little odd. And I think the silence tells you everything you need to know. He doesn't want to lie to them, okay? But he also doesn't want to stir the pot with his gig. Because if he tells the truth and he says, yeah, I was told to stop doing the letter grades, he might get some heat from his editor or from somebody above him. But he also doesn't want to lie to Brandon Thurston and John Pollock and tell them that he wasn't told to stop with the letter grades. So how did he handle that? He didn't respond for comment. Now, look, I don't want to get in another man's pockets if he doesn't want to risk his gig or whatever. I mean, I understand that. Me personally, how I would have handled that, I would have responded to post, and I would have made it clear in no uncertain terms that it was not my decision to stop the letter grades. I would have found a creative way to get that across. I would have said, that's correct. There are no more letter grades. That was not my decision, or that was an editorial decision.
There's a way to word it, but to wink, wink, nudge, nudge. No, this was not my call. It was a call from above, or an editorial decision, or
I would have figured out a way to say it, because I would want to make it clear to my audience that I did not make that decision myself based on the heat that I got for the C. I would want to make it clear that it was somebody else who made that decision for me. Okay? And again, by him not answering, I think that gives us the answer. Okay? Sometimes, like we talk a lot,
a non-answer could be an answer.
Is an answer.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, Yeah, it's just that, this company is tissue soft when it comes to stuff like that. We know this. And the bigger story here, other than, aside from the elimination of the letter grades, and from, I had someone tell me who does read his reviews that he still does them in a sneaky way, because he used to give letter grades to each match and for the show overall. What he's doing now is sometimes when he's reviewing a match, he'll say things within the body of the review. Well, this was kind of a C-level match, and then he'll go on and talk about it. So he's kind of slipping those letter grades in there anyway. He's just not at the end of the paragraph putting grade C.
Right.
You know what I mean? In bold type.
He's smart, because most people are not going to read. So they're not going to know. They're just going to scroll. Or, it won't get aggregated if he says this was a C-level match, but it will get aggregated if at the end of the Elimination Chamber review he put grade D. You know what I mean? That will get aggregated, but he could say, C-level match here or whatever, and that won't get aggregated. He knows what he's doing. He's a smart guy.
Yeah, so, I think the bigger story here, though, is you look at WWE and how much they control the major media. Obviously, as this story demonstrates, and with the business relationship that they have, they are in control of ESPN's media coverage of the company. It cannot be denied at this point. And it's not like ESPN was intimately covering pro wrestling the way that Dave Meltzer does, or even the way that we do, or any wrestling outlet would. But it's still control of the messaging, which has been demonstrated by the removal of these letter grades. They control Busted Open, which is the biggest radio show covering pro wrestling, radio show / podcast / audio in pro wrestling. And they, as we've talked about 1,000 times, they have 3 or 4 at minimum different people who work for the Busted Open. What is that the name of the station that they got now? The 24/7
Pro
Busted Open Radio.
No, it's called what the fuck's it called? One sec, let me get it. Pro Wrestling Serious. Pro Wrestling Nation, I think, is what it's called, but let me confirm. Right. Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7, yes.
There you go. Because previously they were on a fight sport catch-all channel.
Yes.
But now Pro Wrestling has its own channel, which is built around the Busted Open show. And as we pointed out, there's at least 3 or 4 people who work there who take money from WWE, whether that's Sam Roberts, whether that's Bully Ray, whether that's Mark Henry. You go right down the line. I'm probably forgetting 1 or 2.
Peter Rosenberg.
Pete Rosenberg. There's another one. There's at least 4 people there who also work for WWE.
And LaGreca's appeared on pre-shows and whatnot. Jonathan Coachman's an ex-employee and clearly would love to be a current employee again. And Tommy Dreamer's the head booker of their biggest competitor. Not a competitor, but a collaborative company.
A collaborative company that has a working contract with them.
Right.
So there's even a connection with Tommy Dreamer. That's true.
So literally the entire network is connected in some way.
Yeah. Essentially everyone on the network. Does Salcedo have a show there? She doesn't have any.
No, I think it's literally just, I think the hosts are Dreamer, who we just talked about. So he's got the TNA connection. Mark Henry, an actual employee. Mark Henry does, I think he hosts with her. So she would be the
Salcedo's there. She's the only one without any paid connection to WWE.
Yeah.
So, my point here is obviously Busted Open is in the bag for them. You're not going to get honest coverage or content from them because they're very favorable to WWE because many of them are paid by W, so you can't trust their coverage. The Ringer has there's a minority stake involved there, between WWE and the Ringer. And so, obviously that compromise. So that's 3: ESPN, the Ringer, Busted Open on Sirius XM. They essentially, we talk state media, and I don't know if people think that's tinfoil hat stuff, but that's 3 of the biggest outlets that cover pro wrestling, if not the 3 biggest outlets. And they're essentially they are in control to some degree of all 3 of them, and I think this letter grade story is just a byproduct of that. What would happen? Is ESPN covering the Janelle Grant story?
I don't think so.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I'll look, but I would guess not.
are Bully Ray and Dave LaGreca, every time something new happens, Are they opening up their show with coverage of the Janelle Grant story?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, is anyone on that channel? Okay, maybe that's not their lane. Maybe, okay, we just break down wrestling angles. All right, is Salcedo and Mark Henry doing it? Is Sam Roberts? Is anyone on there doing it?
So the last mention of Janelle Grant on ESPN is August 3rd, 2025, when Brock Lesnar made his shocking appearance on SummerSlam. Just some guy named Greg. Yeah, I don't know who this author is, but that was.
What's his name?
Greg Wyshynski.
Okay, well, if Greg Wyshynski wants to do some investigative journalism and write a story, wouldn't you have to deeply question whether, first of all, he's even allowed to do that, and second of all, what kind of access he's going to be given and how WWE would react to that if they're super sensitive over letter grades for their pay-per-views? Right. So that's kind of the point I'm making.
He's an NHL writer, by the way, for ESPN. I don't know what his connection was to this story, but there you go.
Right. Well, I'm just using him as the example because he wrote the story. It's use Andreas Hale as the example. If he wanted to do a story, are they going to let him do it? They won't even let him give a letter grade to the pay-per-views. They're going to let him write a detailed investigative piece on him or anybody else who wants. I'm not picking on him or Wojciechowski, whatever that guy's name. I'm not picking on any of these guys. I'm saying they wouldn't let anybody do it, is my point. They control all of the largest media outlets that cover this stuff. And right down to, we don't like the average grade that you gave our pay-per-view, so please don't do that anymore. And ESPN complies. Because we all know ESPN,
Yeah, speaking of journalistic integrity, I mean, ESPN, not the shining light. And there was a time, obviously, when ESPN used to be a fantastic, journalistic outfit. But these days, now that they're in bed with all these leagues, like quite literally owning portions of these leagues, and that's not even just TV deals. Like they quite literally own portions of some of these leagues. It's all gone now. Now it's just any idea of journalistic integrity or whatever is way out the window. So yeah, they're not going to cover. If the NFL says, "Hey, don't cover something that we want," they're going to listen because they have literal financial stakes in the NFL and literal financial stakes in the NBA, so there's a lot going on with ESPN too. But
forget Janelle Grant. Have any of the three outlets that I've talked about discussed, written, talked about the sagging WrestleMania ticket sales? Maybe they haven't. I'm not aware. Am I locked into Busted Open every day? I certainly am not. Are LaGreca and Bully Ray opening up with that and talking about why the ticket sales aren't good? I doubt it.
Certainly wouldn't be the tenor of their. Normally, their conversations are not like that, so I would be surprised if that was what it was.
Now, have they had conversations about AEW's sagging business?
No, I'm sure.
Well, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
What they need to do to draw
tell stories.
This is AEW's problem. They don't tell stories, Dave.
Tony Khan books for one guy. He books for himself. And Dave Meltzer.
Don't want to watch for star ratings. They want stories. Dave. Mark. They want stories. I'm sure he's doing that when AEW has 2,000 people at a TV taping. But are they talking about the WrestleMania time? I'm sure that they're not.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that.
Of course.
Which we just laid out.
Of course. And this parlays, are you good on that point? Because I actually have this, a way we could perfectly parlay this into something I wanted to talk about as well. So are you good?
I don't know if Mark LaMonica has anything else to add, but I'm done. Yeah, I've got nothing else.
All right, perfect. So... Right. And this is great. So I wanted to talk about this anyway. But before the show started, I listened to the Warren Hayes, the Mr. Warren Hayes show on YouTube as well. So make sure you guys go and listen to that, especially this week, because he was on fire. Go look up Warren Hayes on YouTube. But he did a great segment where he was talking about NXT Stand and Deliver, which, Joe, this week you are probably made aware of that Stand and Deliver is going to air on YouTube. The agreement with Peacock has ended. It was supposed to end in March of 2026, and obviously NXT Vengeance Day, which we will review later in the show. Do not worry, NXT Vengeance Day will be reviewed later in the show. That was the final NXT premium live event available on Peacock. So that is the last connection that NXT has with Peacock. Moving forward, the only thing left, I think, is SmackDown, which airs on Peacock on some weird delay or whatever, because obviously it's live on USA or whatever. So they're done on Peacock. So then the announcement was made this week that Stand and Deliver was going to air on YouTube. And Warren, who, usually, I listen to this Warren show. He's usually having a little bit of fun. He's kind of laughing. He was pissed. He was upset, and I loved it. Love the energy I got out of Warren here. He was saying, and reading a bunch of articles. So we went to a bunch of different websites and read how the coverage was written about NXT Stand and Deliver being on YouTube. And he correctly pointed out, and this is exactly what I had in my notes as well, every write-up that you read about NXT Stand and Deliver from all the different websites and all the aggregators and all this sort of stuff is that it's a great opportunity for NXT Stand and Deliver to reach big audiences on YouTube, and it's a stopgap while NXT and WWE tries to figure out NXT's next home for their premium live events, and yada 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 and all this other bullshit. And Warren points out perfectly what this is. They don't have a home for NXT because nobody wants to pay them for NXT premium live events. NXT Stand and Deliver was supposed to be on WrestleMania weekend. It got moved. It got moved to a different week in St. Louis in this tiny ass building. And now they don't have anybody that wants to pay them to watch these shows and to air these shows. Nobody. Nobody wants to pay to watch the shows live, and nobody wants to pay to air these shows live on their streamer. Because if there were somebody that wanted to pay them to air it on their streamer, it wouldn't be on fucking YouTube. Right? And the best line, and then I'll get your thoughts here, is Warren said, "It's on fucking YouTube. I'm on YouTube." As if to say, they're on my level. Look what they're doing what I'm doing. They're not doing anything different than what I'm doing. And guess what? Nobody wants to pay me to talk either. It's like, and it's perfect because but if you read the story, it's like, oh, it's a stopgap. Oh, it's the benefit of the doubt that is always given to WWE and never given to any other wrestling company. Any other wrestling company, right. It is, why isn't there a home? Nobody wants to pay for it. Nobody wants to pay for Ring of Honor. Nobody wants to pay for Rampage. Where's Collision going to go? Is WWE going to... It's all this stuff for AEW, and it's all this stuff for all these other companies. And then for WWE, if they announce that their NXT show, which used to air on Peacock and used to be a big deal and was the benchmark of WWE Network, the launch of WWE Network was NXT is going to be live. We did the freaking NXT, Cesaro and Sami Zayn kicked off the WWE Network. All those great takeover shows were the backbone of the WWE Network when that fucking thing, which I loved because it had all the archives of pro wrestling history, but was fucking empty other than the archives and the live the live pay-per-views and then NXT takeovers. That was it. That was all that was on there. But man, it was great because the NXT takeovers were huge and it was a big deal. And then they got on Peacock and then that was kind of a big deal. Now they're on the CW and Stand and Deliver is going to be on YouTube because Peacock doesn't want them. Paramount Plus doesn't want them. ESPN doesn't want them. Netflix doesn't want them. They wouldn't be on YouTube if somebody wanted to pay them.
If someone wanted to pay them, yeah.
And I'm sure they asked. And they didn't just say, oh, shit, all right, well, I guess we'll put it on YouTube. They asked. They sold it or tried to sell it. Nobody bought.
And I guess the more interesting part of this is because what you're saying is obvious to anyone, who listens to our show. But the more interesting part, I think, is what Warren pointed out is the tissue soft coverage all of these sites are giving. Oh, well, it's just a stopgap. They'll be somewhere else bigger eventually. It's like this soft coverage where, again, if it were any other wrestling company, if New Japan moved all their shows to YouTube, if AEW, oh my God, could you imagine if AEW if Revolution was airing on YouTube this weekend? I mean, what the media reaction to that would be? Because people wouldn't be afraid to write the obvious, where they're afraid to write the obvious with WWE because they don't want to incite their rabid, insane, slow fan base. That's really what it comes down to some of these smaller sites. That's not the case for The Ringer and Busted Open and ESPN. They're state media. But for these other sites, that's what it comes down to. Their bread is buttered by WWE fans, and they are always hesitant to say anything negative or insulting about WWE. And if you think that shows on YouTube because they'll just make YouTube revenue. I mean, that's just nonsense. AAA,
Super Chats. They're gonna make their money back on Super Chats. Yeah.
So they've been airing AAA on YouTube, and obviously in Mexico it's on Fox (Latin America). They have a fucking media deal, which is, what we're talking about. There's no media deal for the AAA English language version with Corey Graves and Rey Mysterio and JBL.
Sometimes JBL
talks maybe a couple times during the show.
As Lucha Libre. That's it.
As authentic Lucha Libre, Corey Graves. Yeah,
I love it. That's all he does. They could probably just get a soundboard. You really could just say, John, we're good. You don't have to come to Mexico City if you want to come, you can come, but we got a soundboard and Corey's just going to handle it. So it's fine. I love it. That's all you need, really.
And he'll get horny for Lahey every now and then, and that's it.
Look at him move. Look at him move, Corey.
I'm a big fan of Las Toxicas.
Right.
Big fan, because these guys always have to be horny to some degree on the commentary.
Yeah.
But my point is, the March 7th episode, the most recent episode, has 199,000 views. An episode from 2 months ago that had Vikingo versus El Grande Americano for the #1 contendership. Big episode. 2 months, 378,000 views.
Oh,
Rich, as
you know,
that's paying them nothing.
That's nothing.
My point. You're especially in the context of $1 billion subsidiary of $1 billion corporation. The 378,000 views they're getting for that AAA show is making them a couple $1,000s, and it's just utterly, it's insignificant. It's insignificant.
Wow. I didn't realize they were that low. I hadn't checked on them in a while. That's low.
Now listen, the takeover,
and those are on. They air on the WWE channel, right? Like it's not on.
Yeah,
it's not on another channel. It's on the main WWE, the one that's got millions and millions of subscribers, right?
Yeah, that's right. Oof. The same one where Main Event does 37,000 views for a show that was actually that was today's episode. That's unfair. But you get, but listen, the NXT show. This is an NXT what used to be like a pay-per-view. Or PLE, whatever they call it.
They got to come up with a new name because this is not a premium live event anymore. If it's just fucking for free on YouTube,
look, it's going to do way more than the AAA show does. Okay, it might even do, dare I say, 1 million views on YouTube. Let's say it does. Rich, that still isn't a lot of money for them.
Chump change. No, it's
nothing.
Change.
It's nothing. Okay, it's nothing. You have Mr. Beast videos doing 50 million views. Those are making money. None of these WWE videos are going to make significant money in the context of WWE and what they can get for media rights. So they're not sticking these things on YouTube, thinking, we'll just make money off of that, because they're not going to make any money off of that. They haven't been able to sell the AAA show, and they haven't been able to sell. Now, I'm sure they'll sell these NXT shows at some point.
Maybe.
I mean, at some point, they'll find somebody to buy them. I mean,
Maybe.
they found somebody to buy Evolve.
Wow.
I mean,
Tubi did.
I agree.
Are they on Tubi? Is it Tubi? Is it Tubi? I don't even know which one they're on.
It's a terrible outlet. I agree. It's awful outlet.
It's on Freevee. Is it on Freevee? Is it on Tubi? It's on whatever, Glug or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you see Tubi had the WBC game between Dominican Republic and Venezuela, and it crashed. It couldn't handle the traffic. It crashed. The first time Tubi had anything anybody wanted to watch, and it fucking crashes. And that's, but still, they got a deal. Okay, I think they'll eventually get a deal, but there's no softening this. The reason it's on YouTube is because they don't have a deal now. There's no other reason. What other reason could there be? And since when does TKO not want money?
Right. Yeah, no, we just want to make sure it's easier for our fans to watch stuff, even though we don't reflect that in any way. We make it as impossible to watch our shit for all main roster stuff. But for NXT, we'd love for you guys just to be able to go watch this thing for free on YouTube. So yeah, it was just so funny how the reporting of that, and I'm so glad Warren pointed that out. And again, his segment is great, and I would definitely recommend it. He gets real big mad, and he just does a great job of getting the point across. But yeah, it's just, and I think NXT in general, you look at the whole NXT thing, and it kind of parlays perfectly into our discussion that we had at the beginning about WWE and the softening of WWE's business. I mean, NXT is, this last Vengeance Day was in the Performance Center. It Stand and Deliver was supposed to be during WrestleMania weekend. They got cold feet. They didn't even put tickets on sale. I think they just sensed this is going to be a fucking mess. So you know what? Forget it. We're going to put this thing in St. Louis. a week or so before or whatever. It's going to be, and it's a small building in St. Louis too. It's not the big giant basketball arena. It's a smaller building that they're going to run in St. Louis. And now it's on YouTube. I mean, that speaks to just the night and day difference from where we were a year ago, where last year, I mean, for whatever you want to say about that show, it was at 10 a.m. and it wasn't in the most favorable time slot, but that thing was still in, big arena. Still had a couple tickets sold for that thing, and
it was empty.
It was black. It was black. It was certainly but I just like the overall like look, feel, and just the narrative around NXT was so much different last year to compare it to what it is this year, and I think that's again just a significant thing that you're right is not being. I don't think that Bully Ray is going to lead off this week's Busted Open with the discussion of NXT Stand and Deliver. It's now on YouTube, and they moved Stand and Deliver off of WrestleMania weekend to another weekend on its own. And Vengeance Day was in the Performance Center. I don't think they're going to lead off with that. So I at least wanted us to.
No, he's gonna tell you how great Vengeance Day was. Is what I'm sure they had that conversation of what an incredible show it was. And you're right. We're kind of all of this glosses over the point that was in the fucking Performance Center.
Yeah.
Vengeance Day was in the fucking Performance Center.
I loved my man Vic Joseph started off with they did the building pan, and it's like the fucking Performance Center, and he goes,
yeah.
This building once played host to WrestleMania. I'm like,
oh God, I didn't even catch that line.
Like, brother, it was the pandemic. Like,
I didn't even catch that line.
Come on, man. Like, what?
Well,
not by choice.
I'll tell you what, though. You know what, though? That tells you they know that it's a bad look.
Yeah.
Right? Because they made a point. Oh, did you see what else they're doing? They are doing Booker T Appreciation Night coming up on NXT. These softer than bread.
Yeah, they haven't stopped. Like I said, that when we talked about the Observer Awards, I don't care nearly as much as these people care about the rest of the Observer Awards.
They could. How thin-skinned can you be? Rich, it was months ago at this point.
Long ago. It's March.
At least 1 month.
It's March. Let it go, please.
And we're still trying to rehab Booker T from winning the award that they allegedly don't care about because not enough people vote on him. Yet they brought them up twice on their own air, and now they're doing a Booker T Appreciation Night. Oh, and they had Michael Cole tweet for the first time in like 6 years to complain about it too.
And Becky did her own awards. And Becky did her own awards too to make fun of them.
And Becky did her own awards, and they brought it up twice on the air, and now they're doing a Booker T Appreciation Night, all because they don't care very bigly.
They just want to show you how much they don't care. They don't care so much that they just cannot stop talking about it.
They have to show you how much they don't care and they don't pay attention and how insignificant they are. That's how much they don't care that we're getting Booker T Appreciation Night. And if you heard his commentary on Vengeance Day, it should no longer be a debate that he's the worst commentator in the business. He is maybe one of the worst commentators of all time. You can't be much worse than this guy.
He had an all-time horrible performance at Vengeance Day.
Horrible. All he does is make random noises. He makes these random throat noises, and then he sings along to certain wrestlers' theme songs. That's all he does. That's all he provides. And Vic Joseph has to carry everything by himself. And believe me, Vic Joseph isn't exactly Gordon Soley. So it's an awful broadcast. Because Vic Joseph, he stinks too.
He's not very good, yeah. But
he's lucky Booker T exists. Okay? Because he'd be a contender for worst announcer every year. I mean, Booker T is the shits. I mean, he's the shits. If you think Booker T is providing expect your opinion on pretty much anything, there's nothing good about what he does. He's an imbecile. In fact, if you enjoy Booker T's commentary, I think it's kind of cruel. I think you're like, it's like you're enjoying the inane ramblings of an insane person. Like it's almost like you shouldn't enjoy it. His commentary is almost a cry for help. If I didn't know any better, he's clearly doing a character. Okay? If he wasn't doing a character, you would think that he's like, I don't know, like losing his fucking, what do they say when people have like Alzheimer's? He's like losing his capacities. But I know he's doing a character at least.
Right.
That's how bad the
think
commentary is.
he's trying to be an imbecile on purpose. I think what he's trying to do. If he's not, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But he's doing a very good job of portraying an imbecile who has no idea what's happening in front of him, does not know what's going on in the show, has no idea anything besides people's music and like Vic Joseph constantly has to say, like, all right, Booker, what do you think? And Booker's like, ja, rah, rah. He
just makes noises. All he does
Vic
is make
at one
noises.
point said, Booker, you're a commentator. Can I get some analysis out of you? And he goes, Vic, it's the moment. It's about rising to the occasion. And it's just like you can feel like, I do think Vic is frustrated. I can sense that. I don't know if he's in on the joke all the way. Because there are times where Vic's just like, Book, just give me something. Just say a sentence. I need a break. I need to take a swig of water. I need to look at my notes. Just say something. And he never can. He just goes, Vic, it's about the big time. It's about winning the big moment and the big match. You got to go and take it. And it's just like, what is this?
Hold on. That's when he's saying words.
Yes, and that's good. That is Vic getting something out of him.
A lot of times it's not even words. It's just, a lot of times it's just noises.
It's insane.
Okay? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think what Booker is doing is he's portraying somebody who is losing their faculties. And it's
I don't know if that's true.
I think that's what he's doing. I think he's portraying someone who doesn't have their wits about them, and it's easy for him because he doesn't have to pay attention or know what's going on. He doesn't have to do any homework. He doesn't have to look at the notes. He doesn't have to pay attention to the show that's happening in front of him because he either just has to make throat noises, sing along to theme songs, or just speak in wide generalities like this is the big time, you have to rise to the occasion. He doesn't have to pay attention. He doesn't know half the people are on the screen.
He doesn't know. Yeah, he reminds me of Jerry Lawler in the Attitude Era. Would show up on Mondays, sit at the commentary table. JR would have all these big notes and have a handle on the stories because he's in the room with Vince and he's coming up with most of the stories. And JR knows all the guys. He probably hired half the guys as well. And Jerry would show up to the building, put the headset on, go for 3 hours or 2 hours, put the headset down, and that was it. He didn't watch the show. He didn't know what the stories were. He had no earthly idea what was going on. His job was to go, puppies, wah, what?
Look out! Anytime someone came off the top rope, look out!
Right. That's all he did.
Look out!
Right. So
what's gonna happen?
Yeah. Right. Look out, Vince! Look out, Vince!
Look out! He loves look out.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that was it.
T is,
yeah,
Booker
and that's
T
Booker's
is he's multitudes worse than that.
Right.
He's awful. I think his gimmick is that he's like a guy that's
a gimmick.
I think his gimmick is he's a person who's losing their mind. And that's the gimmick. He's doing it on purpose.
You know what? He is an incredible actor then. He's doing a fantastic job of a man who has lost his faculties.
Well, Rich, he has a fucking radio show where he speaks like a grown adult and has semi-coherent thoughts. I mean, he doesn't have good thoughts, but he has he gets across the thoughts he's trying to get across. What I'm saying, like he speaks like a normal human on his radio show. I think he's doing a gimmick. He's doing a dumb person gimmick.
Or do you think he just knows that this is such a dumb job and it doesn't matter and people want him to be an idiot? Because he would do, his WWE main roster commentary was pretty dumb too, and I don't think he was portraying an imbecile then.
The Observer Award was the best thing that ever happened to him. Because now they've rallied around him.
Correct.
And he's turned it up to 11. He's turned up his what Sam Roberts calls the vibes.
Oh yeah, they're vibes, all right.
He's turned it up to 11, and now they're doing Booker T Appreciation Night.
Yeah.
They've spun this thing into a positive. Because anything that comes from the Observer is obviously going to be painted as, the wrong from their audience. So now all of a sudden, Booker T is a great announcer. Did you ever hear about Booker T being a great announcer before he won that award? Never. Their audience didn't think he was good.
He's also won this award numerous times before.
This one blew up for whatever reason, probably because they didn't do well for the first time in a long time as a company. But not even, because AEW did well.
You're correct.
For the
There you
time
go.
in a
Yes,
long
yes.
time.
Please clarify.
And other companies did okay for the first time in a while. So it was, like I said, I don't think that the people who complained are even aware that he's won it 3 years in a row. Okay. But my point is, there was never any talk that he was good at this until that blew up last month. Now, all of a sudden, we're being told by their fan base and their audience that he's actually good at this, which is total nonsense, and they never even believed it, and I don't even think they believe it. He's just like, they're laughing at Booker T,
yes.
not with him.
He's a mascot.
He's a mascot. He's a fucking clown. He is like on March Madness, right? He's a dancing mascot on the fucking baseline of one of these basketball games. He's the Stanford fucking tree, or, whatever the fuck. Dancing during timeouts and getting, doing bits with the cheerleaders. And whoever gets picked to do the half-court shot promotion at halftime. That's what they're laughing at him, not with him. So, I don't know, how the fuck did we start picking? Oh, because Vengeance Day, which I'm going to force you to review the show.
Guess what? Not only did I watch the 2026 Vengeance Day, Joe, I went into my Peacock and I typed Vengeance Day. And a Vengeance Day graphic popped up, and I went, here we go. So I clicked play. And the video's playing, and I'm watching. I'm like, whatever, Vic Joseph introduces us to some building. He says, they're still filing in at the... That's another Vic Joseph classic is... They're still filing in whatever building they're at is half full or whatever. Oh, they're still all coming in. Yeah, I'm sure. They'll all be here in a minute. I'm sure. Forget. Okay, so they're panning the building. First match hits the ring, and it's Fallon Henry, your favorite Fallon Henry, versus Stephanie Vaquer. And I'm like, that's weird. They're using Stephanie Vaquer in NXT. I figured I would have heard about that, but apparently not. All right, here it's Stephanie Vaquer. They're desperate to sell some fucking tickets, so they're gonna get Stephanie out there so Booker can go she does her ass move or whatever. So perfect. So
the vibes. Yeah,
and I'm like, it's JC Jane and Fallon Henry, and I forget who the other girl is, and I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It's Fatal Influence. They're still, they're around. It's weird that Stephanie's back in NXT, but whatever. So I watched the entire match, and Stephanie wins the title, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. They gave the title to Stephanie. I mean, she's on the main roster, but all right, whatever. Then the next match starts, and it's Josh Briggs, and I'm like, I forgot Josh Briggs is in NXT. And then Yoshiki Inamura showed up, and I was like, wait a minute, what is happening here? And then I looked, and I had watched an hour of Vengeance Day 2025 before I realized, my God, I'm watching the wrong Vengeance Day.
Yeah, you're like, this is not Mr. Smack Daddy.
No.
So this can't be.
I love how he was the person. I watched all the videos, and they showed like Trick, and I'm like, I guess they're using Trick still in NXT. I didn't know that. I mean, I was like, man, they're really desperate to sell some fucking tickets to these things or get people to watch this thing. I mean, they're bringing a lot of the old NXT guys in here, but really, that much had changed, right? Like JC Jane's there. It wasn't unrealistic that Stephanie would be there. Booker T's just making noises. Like all this was kind of normal to me until Inamura showed up, and I was like, no. Yeah. That man is a Pro Wrestling Noah GHC heavyweight champion. There is no way he has made it back to NXT. And then I realized, motherfucker, I just watched an hour of last year's Vengeance Day. So would you like me to recap Fallon Henry and Stephanie Vaquer for you? Because I can. So
no.
Okay.
People can go in the archives and hear us.
I was watching this show, and I'm sure we've reviewed it, but it just washed over me as it was happening.
So this show was
Jasmine
so bad.
Nix is the other. To clarify, the other Toxic Attraction member. Fatal Influence or Toxic Attraction? I forget which one. Who cares?
So this show was so bad, as you would imagine. One of the main problems with this show is the kiddie plunder. There were 3 different matches on this show with that trademark NXT kiddie plunder.
Yeah, 2 in a row, too, to start us off.
2 in a row to start off. And if you're going to be a PG product where it's just basically Disney Channel style wrestling, which is what NXT is, Disney Channel level acting, Disney Channel level characters, Disney Channel level dialogue and storylines. It's wrestling for imbeciles. We all know that. You just don't do plunder. Don't have street fights. Don't have Tony D'Angelo attack a guy with a pipe. Don't do NXT Underground, because if you can't do that kind of stuff properly, it just comes off like you're doing a parody of professional wrestling. It comes off like you're doing a community theater version of actors portraying what professional wrestling looks like on TV. Because this Blake Monroe, Jada Parker street fight, it's just so bad with the kitty plunder because no one's ever going to bleed. No one's ever going to take, like, shots to the head. They're not going to do anything that even comes across like fictionalized violence, let alone actual violence. And if that's the case, just do regular matches, man. Why insult everybody and do something called a street fight when, everybody's makeup is still going to be perfect. Their makeup and hair is going to be perfect by the end of it. And it comes across even worse with Blake Monroe because the last time we saw her in AEW, she was bleeding like a stuck pig and losing the match to Toni Storm.
Right, and the best match she's ever had, and probably
best match she'll ever have.
I think safe to say.
And now this is like the second time she's had one of these street fights, no DQ deals, where it's just plastic weapons, literal plastic weapons, and just all the shots are to the gut in the midsection because they don't want to hit each other in the head, and it just
trash can lids, which is like the oldest like when you fuck around with your friends, you hit each other with trash can lids because they don't hurt at all, or like cookie sheets or whatever. Like me and my friends when we were 11 on fucking trampolines would hit each other with cookie sheets and trash can lids because they don't hurt at all. They make a loud noise, but they don't do anything. So yeah, it's kendo stick shots to the stomach and trash can lid shots to the back. Yeah. And then we had diamonds, but they zoomed in and like, Booker, those are diamonds. It was like they weren't.
Yeah, her thing is she takes instead of having thumbtacks or broken glass in the bag, she has diamonds, right? So she dumps the diamonds in the ring, and then she hits her like her finish or like a power bomb or whatever on Parker on the diamonds, and then pins her. And then here is what Vic Joseph had to say about that as she was celebrating, and I quote. Blake Monroe goes into that deep, dark mind of hers and uses the diamonds to defeat Jada Parker. Deep, dark mind? What? What is he talking about? She's a fucking cartoon character that dumped plastic diamond-like fucking objects
like rock
onto
candy.
the ring.
It looked like rock candy. Although rock candy's pretty sharp. I don't know what that thing was, but it wasn't.
I don't know. It's just so insulting. And this is why they can't sell tickets for this garbage, and they have to go to the PC and do it in front of those mutant fans. It's just so bad. And then that wasn't it. The Tony D'Angelo thing, which, they're fighting out in the parking lot. Like, again, it looks like a community theater West Side Story scene where it's like dance fighting, and they're out in the parking lot, and it doesn't look like it's violent or anybody's hurting each other. You have all the extras, like, pumping their fists as they're leaning up against cars. Like, get them. It is so bad.
None of this is... we're not original enough to make any of this up. I promise everybody this all happened.
This is why I don't like the AEW cornball parking lot fights either. Those stink too.
Yeah, and it was the way it's set up too. When you're saying this is West Side Story, it was. Because it was like... It was literally... what's his face? Deion Lennox is like... back and he's like, I hope he shows. I'm gonna show him a thing or two or whatever. It's like he's in the backstage, and then Tony shows up, and then there's like 100 extras, and they're like, get him, like they're cheering on the fight, and it's like, what is this? What am I watching? What kind of
the old
Degrassi bullshit am I watching here? Come on,
Degrassi, but the Disney Channel bullshit. You remember the old video game Pit Fighter?
Of course, sucks. Game stinks.
All the people around the flipping their digital fists. That's, so you got all the extras out there.
The Pit Fighter people, the Pit Fighter NPCs in the background there. Yeah.
These are WWE NPCs just cheering. So these guys finally make their way to fucking ringside.
They crash through a wall. So obviously they filmed this other part like another day or whatever.
Right.
So they're brawling, and it's a long backstage brawl. I mean, they're brawling, and it's like, what the fuck is happening here? It's like 10 minutes, and they're throwing each other into stacks of boxes. The classic WWE bullshit backstage. So then all of a sudden they burst through a wall into the arena. Then they get in the ring, and the referee the entire time while the brawl backstage is happening, the referees go, come on, guys, get in the ring. Get in the ring. Yeah. And I'm like, what is this? What am I watching? So then they break through the wall. And then they go to the ring, and then they have like a 10-minute match in the ring after just brawling for 10 minutes.
Oh, God, this sucks. Why am I watching this?
I don't need to watch D'Angelo and Deion Lennox. Like, I'm good. I got it. You're brawling, you're fighting. Like, when they get in the ring, and then they got in the ring and they wrestled a professional wrestling match for like 8 minutes. And it was like, what is happening?
After he attacked him with a pipe in the parking lot.
Right, now we must grapple.
What are we doing? And as far as Deion Lennox goes, they're like repeating NXT names now because Big Daddy Yum Yum Byron Wilcott was Lennox McEnroe. Remember that? Because they combined Lennox Lewis with Patrick McEnroe.
Was it Bob?
John McEnroe.
Yeah, John McEnroe.
More likely than Patrick, but maybe Patrick. And now they're rehashing Lennox, the name. I'm sure someone's been a Dion at some point. They're running out of names. So Tony D'Angelo has been repackaged. He's got a beard now.
Yeah.
And he doesn't talk about cappuccino and stromboli and cannoli anymore. He's not a Saturday Night Live parody of an Italian person. He means serious business.
He's not
now
Dana Carvey doing a Dana Carvey right. Italian guy.
Yeah, he's serious business. So he's been in developmental for like a decade at this point.
Tony Tits is like 34 years old, man. Come on.
It's like, dude, just go sell cars. It's over. They clearly don't.
No, he is the face. I read a review that said he is the new face of NXT.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but he's the face of NXT.
Because Ricky Saints was saying that throughout this whole show too. Because they did this segment.
Do you want to be the face of this NXT? I wouldn't want to say that.
No. The last thing I would want to be is the face of NXT. Because then they had Ricky Starks in the back, and he comes up to Ethan Page.
Ricky Saints. Could you get it right? That's his dead name, please. Saints.
They came up to Ricky Saints. No, now I'm all fucked up. Ricky Saints comes up to Ethan Page in the back.
No, it's Saints. Yeah, you're right.
And he's got the title match against Joe Hendry later, right?
A preposterous hidden camera, by the way. There's no reason for this camera to be here. It's just Ethan Page sitting down, and Ricky enters the frame and goes, "Hey, Ethan."
It's a fake locker room.
Right.
So he says to him, he's barely talking about the title. He's talking, I want to be face of this brand. Like, what were we doing? You're in a world title match. No one cares about face of the brand. So he goes, I need you to help me because, Joe Hendry's going to have his pals there, and we've been friends for a long time, and I want your help. And I said, hold on a second. Hit pause. Friends for a long time. They had a blood feud a year ago in NXT. They were mortal enemies.
Yes.
For a year on this fucking show. Okay? And I am so sick and tired of these people telling you how this company tells these great fucking stories.
Stories.
They're telling stories, Gabriel Greca.
A to B to C story. I've heard him say that a lot. Yeah. That's a classic line. Yeah.
Except when you're not supposed to remember A and B anymore. That these two men had a fucking blood feud with no blood because it's NXT.
Right.
For a fucking year. Now he's saying, "Oh, because we're great friends," and Ethan's nodding along like
of course.
like Stephen A. Smith and
Skip.
Yup, friends. He's Skip. He's fucking Skip. Ethan Page is Skip going, yup. He's like, we've been friends for a long time. He's like, yup, not in a long. What? You tried to kill each other. You were the main event of last year's fucking Stand and Deliver in Vegas. You tried to kill each other. What do you mean you've been friends for a long time and friends watch each other's back? Now, I know ultimately Ethan Page doesn't, I get but the important part is Ethan Page is supposed to be deceiving him. That's the essence. But the thing is, they hate each other. We're supposed to not remember that they hated each other. This is the great storytelling that you get from this company.
Yeah, they did that. Remember last year they did that with Lola Vice and Jada Parker. They had like months and months long feud, and then one day they just like pounded fists and decided, we're going to shake our asses and be friends now. And then they were just friends. And it was like, fuck, it sucks.
They did that with Cora Jade and people. They did it all. They do it all the time. As soon as a feud is over, poof, you're supposed to forget about it with your goldfish brain. And then whatever happens next is the new reality. Like they just slap reset on the continuity.
Yeah.
And everything is just supposed to be new. And they're just great friends going back forever now. despite the fact that they feuded for a year. It just drives you nuts how bad this fucking show is. It's just so bad.
All right, before we get to any further, I forgot I have the notes of what Vic Joseph said as we entered the Performance Center. So like I said, first off, he said, this great building once hosted Wrestlemania. And I'm like, I did, but not because there was a global pandemic going on and you couldn't go anywhere. But he also said, Joe, and I quote, tonight, our superstars don't just compete, they seek retribution. Rivalries have crossed the line. Tempers have reached their limit. A vengeful locker room is ready to compete with malicious intent. Welcome to NXT Vengeance Day.
Ugh, God.
And then they hit each other with kendo sticks in the stomach.
Yes.
For 3
yes, they do.
hours.
Garbage can lids to the back. Diamonds from the hold on. Diamonds from the deep, dark mind of Blake Monroe. Deep and dark is her mind. Mm-hmm. So then you have this NXT Underground match, which is like their version of Bloodsport. You know, they take the ropes down. You have more NPCs come out.
Oh, yeah, a lot of NPCs fill that ring, yeah.
They got to surround the ring. The NPCs surround the ring, and I'm getting text messages now. I have to turn my phone down because Georgetown's playing Big East tournament, so everybody.
They're not scoops. They're not scoops, right?
No. So the NPCs surround the ring, and they're doing pumping their fist again, pounding on the fucking mat. And then Lola Vice and Kalani Jordan. Now, you have to correct me here. I am told this match was 6 minutes and 37 seconds.
No. Who said that?
There is no way this wasn't 60 minutes and 37 seconds.
All right, I'm looking at Cage Match. Cage Match does say 6:37, which I don't believe. So let's go to Wikipedia. Those people would not and never be wrong. There is no way this thing was only 6 minutes long. Let's see here. 6 minutes and 37 seconds per Wikipedia.
This sucks so bad. And again, if you can't do this stuff right, just don't fucking do it. Everything has this cartoon feel around it. You can't do like a Bloodsport style match with the ropes taken down if you have cartoon characters as the two fighters. You have cartoon character NPCs around the ring. You have cartoon character Booker T making glottal sounds in his throat the whole time because he doesn't know what to say. It's just awful. And then what you end up with is something that's 6 minutes long that felt like it was an hour long. I'm stunned looking at the runtime of this thing. It was so bad. Lola Vice wins. I guess we should say that, although nobody listening gives a shit who won this match.
You don't care.
I mean, you can't possibly care because her dad was in the fucking crowd. So of course, even when you're doing like a MMA style match, you have to gimmick it up with like their family in the crowd, and you're doing spots in front of the dad, and you can't keep it.
Well, they were doing table spots. They were fighting outside the ring onto the table.
Yes, in a blood sport match that's supposed to be in the ring. It's just they can't help themselves. Just don't do this stuff. Don't do it. It's really, really awful.
And the other thing, too, is just utterly ridiculous that Kalani Jordan, who, even in the build, Lola Vice is like, well, I'm a fighter. I've been in MMA fights, and you're a gymnast. And Kalani's like, well, I'm tough or whatever. So then, but then she was like grappling with Lola Vice, and it's like, it's implausible that if Lola Vice, and she actually does have an MMA record. Lola Vice did fight in Bellator many times.
Yeah.
She's a trained fighter. This thing should have lasted 6 seconds. I should never believe that Kalani Jordan, a gymnast, can put Lola Vice in like an arm bar and be like, I don't know, she might tap her out. It's like, it's absurd. It's absurd, but that's what they did.
So Ethan Page comes down to watch Ricky Saints back. Well, after the introductions where...
Sir, you missed a huge segment. Are you going to talk about the Zarya Motherhead?
We're not going in order.
Okay, all right.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
Because I got a lot of notes on that.
Because I was watching that saying, my video has fucked up again because now I've just started an episode of NXT television.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to talk about interminably long.
I'm like, what is happening? I am no longer watching Vengeance Day. I'm watching... Okay, we'll get there.
So Ethan Page comes down to watch Ricky Saints back from who I don't know, because Hendry didn't even really have
anybody with him. No,
there was no.
I know they kept talking about they talked about Joe Hendry having his guys, and I'm like, who are his guys, and where are they? Where are they?
Just tell stories. You gotta tell stories. Fucking imbecile. God, I'd love to debate that guy. So he doesn't even have anybody at ringside with him. So Ethan Page comes down. He's, of course, staring at the belt because he wants to be the face of NXT, right? Of course. So then, because he's not focused, he accidentally overthrows the belt because he's trying to throw the belt to Ricky so Ricky can use the belt to win. And then Ricky is he's frozen. He's looking at Ethan Page. He's looking at the belt that got overthrown. He's just frozen like an idiot. Standing there, with his head going back and forth, with his mouth.
It's a humiliating match for Ricky Saints. I was watching this embarrassed for this poor man.
With his mouth agape, looking back and forth with his hands out, you're supposed to throw the belt to me. But the belt went to the other side of the ring, right? It's ridiculous nonsense. Well, who knows what the referee's doing?
Right. And the match was terrible because Joe Hendry is fucking
Joe
horrible.
Hendry is the shit.
God, he sucks.
Okay?
I'm so sick of giving that guy kick. He fucking sucks.
He's terrible. He's barely a pro wrestler.
Barely. He is awful. He's got no instincts, no athleticism, just awful wrestler.
He's a half step better than Grado. That's basically
right. I know. He's a slightly evolved Grado.
Yeah. So, I don't know what the ref's doing. He's jerking off in the corner or something. I don't know what's going on. And then Hendry gives him a low. No, so
stories. Get the stories right, Joe. Come on.
The story's so bad that you can't fucking get it right. So instead, Ricky hits a low blow on Hendry. He's I don't have the belt to hit him with, so I'm going to punch him in the dick. Gives him the swinging DDT. He kicks out. And then there was more confusion, and then Hendry gives Ricky a low blow, and his awful fucking choke slam finisher, whatever that is. I don't know what the hell it's supposed to be. And then
it's supposed to be like a swinging uranage, but it never looks good. He doesn't get the guy up off the ground much. It's just very clunky, very bad. Yeah,
the dad bod banger, whatever he calls it, and that is it. He beat him. And I guess it's listen, the long friendship, the long 8-month friendship of Ethan Page and Ricky Saints, it's going to come to a head, and they're not going to be friends anymore, and we're probably going to pretend that they didn't already have a feud. So we got to get to this awful segment in the middle of the show where, for some reason, they just decided to do, like you said, a fucking TV segment in the middle of the show where Toxic Attraction 3 is out there. Because she didn't defend the women's title here. She's another one. I mean, she's 47 years old. She never gets moved up to the main roster.
She even said that. Her promo was I know I've been here for a while.
Yeah.
And people often get released from this company. And I have to admit, every single time I see people get released, I think about that phone call. And I'm
yeah.
What am I doing? How do you want me to react to this, JC? Am I supposed to feel bad for what is going on? Because I'm nodding along. I'm I mean, that call's coming for you soon. I mean, it is, right? I mean, you're 30 years old and you're still here in NXT. You've been in NXT for 6 years now. It's that call is coming.
Pew, pew, shoot.
Yeah.
And then the music get down. Sol Ruka comes out to
No. Zarya came out first, sir.
Zarya was, okay. Zarya was first. My bad.
Please,
my bad.
For God's sakes, get this right.
These NXT stories are too complex for me. And then Soul comes out, and of course,
1954 theme music.
Fucking Annette Funicelli. Fucking
right.
Beach blanket bingo with fucking yeah, absolutely.
I love that her gimmick is surfing. That's all they have for her. They're all right, so what's your gimmick? You surf. All right, cool. I'm going to make a 1954, surfing song for you. So. Yeah, really progressive stuff here. So fully evolved characters here in NXT. So she really likes the sun and to have fun. Yeah,
her name is Soul. Get it? Soul. Right. So They're tag team partners, Sol Ruka.
Well, they were.
Yeah.
Zarya turned on her.
Right. But now they're going to be in this 3-way on Tuesday with the old lady world champion. And I assume the match happened on Tuesday. I have to admit, I didn't follow up on it.
I guess it did already happen.
I guess it happened. Did it happen or is it happening on YouTube? Exclusively on YouTube on Stand and Deliver.
But yeah, so basically, it was so weird. She came out. She talked about how she could get released anytime and how she's been there forever, and everyone's like, yeah, whatever. And then these fully fleshed out characters. So Zarya comes out and she's like, I want that title or whatever. I want to be the face of NXT. I don't know if she said that, but I'm just going to go with it anyway. And then JC's current toxic attraction stablemates, who are definitely one sec.
No one cares. No one cares.
I got to get this right.
No, you don't. You don't have to get it right.
I actually don't know who's in there anymore. Yeah. But the other two women that she was with were like, Zarya, I helped JC retain the NXT title, but I always have her back, whatever. And then JC makes a weird face because the other lady said it was like Izzy Dame. No, Izzy Dame's in fucking whatever the hell the other one is. So whatever. Yeah. So the idea, and then the other girl's like, we've all had JC's back and helped her win these matches or whatever. And then JC makes this look because it's like, my teammates have helped me win these matches. They haven't helped me. I helped myself win these matches. It doesn't make any sense. So whatever. So we're can they coexist? Can toxic attraction coexist? Who could find out? Or fatal influence or whatever the fuck. Laney Reed, I think, is one of their names. Laney Reed. I believe they're fatal influence.
Yeah, because Sol Ruka defeated her on NXT 2 days later.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Laney Reed.
Laney Reed.
Who has a massive WWE career in front of her. There's no question.
Laney Reed. Oh, definitely. So then, so JC goes on and on and on. Then Zarya comes out and it's like, I want a title shot. And then Sol comes out and she's like, Zarya, you turned on me and I have my own beef with JC Jane or whatever. And then Robert Stone, the general manager, and I'm like, why is this on my television?
What?
Why am I watching this? So Robert Stone, the NXT general manager, goes, I have an idea. How about we have a triple threat match? And then JC, vibrates with anger, and then we have a triple threat match for.
I'm surprised he didn't suggest that she teams with the Undertaker.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
Yeah, so the bright idea of the GM Robert Stone was to do at least they have a GM who could put together a coherent sentence and not fumble over the simplest lines. I mean, that guy at least is a competent replacement level performer compared to The Rock's awful daughter. So
Jizzle in the chat room is saying, wait, the champion talked about getting released anytime. Yes, she did.
That's correct. Yes.
She said anytime people get released, I look at my phone and wonder if I'm next.
She looks at her phone and wonders if she's. That's right. The champion of the promotion. The world champion of said promotion. That's right. Not the North American champion, because of course that's.
I think JC is. No, she is the world champion. You're right.
She is the world champion.
Yeah, the NXT North American.
She's not the women, because of course that's Tatum Paxley, who just won it on the show that we just watched.
Reviewed the show. That's right. She won it. Yeah, she won it.
As we do a full Charles Barkley, who he played for.
Yeah, Tatum Paxley. Yeah,
we literally watched her win the title, and we couldn't remember who the NXT. Why do they have an NXT Women's North American champion?
Yeah, she defeated Izzy Dame. Izzy Dame, who's part of the culling. Tatum Paxley used to be a part of the culling. And they had that awful segment that people, if you want to know why Joe thinks that it's like deplorable television and respects you less if you like it, look up. There's got to be a way. With Tatum, Paxley, Izzy Dame. Let's see if they're Tatum, Paxley. The one I'm talking about where it's got dumb lighting and they're talking about there's like a dollhouse in between them. Try to see how you can
and
find it.
The dolls are alive. And it's, and Sean Spears is like a cult leader for some reason. And it's.
I think if you look up Tatum Paxley delivers a chilling message to Izzy Dame, that'll get across a little bit. If you look on YouTube, it's got like green lighting or whatever, and they're just So Izzy Dame's like, these dolls don't talk to you, Tatum. They're just dolls. And Tatum's like, no, they're not. They're my friends. And it's like, what is? Why am I watching this? Why is Joe making me watch this?
I'm telling you. This is why. So when I say that if you are a grown adult human who genuinely enjoys this show without any sense of irony or anything like that, I can't respect you as an adult human being. Do you see why now? Do you see why, Rich Craig? I can't respect you. I'm sorry. It's just a deal breaker for me. If you genuinely enjoy watching this. It is the worst wrestling show to ever exist. Full stop. Don't debate me. You will be wrong. Nothing, not Glow. I don't care what you name. Nothing can possibly be worse.
POW, Glow.
None of it.
AWA Team Challenge Series, none of it.
No, not that era of AWA. No way. This is the worst wrestling television show to ever exist. And I can't be around you if you're an adult human who thinks this is good. Or you rub your hands together on Tuesday nights and say, it's been a long day at work. I forgot it was Tuesday, but you know what? I've got NXT.
Crack open a cold one.
On my local channel 46, CW, I'm going to tune in. Fucking NXT's on. It's going to save my day. Right. My boss was on my ass all day. I can't wait.
My mortgage is late.
Yeah.
Behind on a couple bills, but you know what? Izzy David, Tatum Paxley are going to have a face-to-face.
I forgot NXT's on. Everything's going to be okay. Because tonight, Ethan Page and Ricky Saints are taking on Joe Hendry and Miles Bourne, and it's just going to bring everything back into focus for me. Ren Sinclair's going after the speed title, and I've been waiting 7 days for this.
Oh, I think, did we forget the one segment? I know we're going out of order. Was this on this show, or did I possibly made this up in my head? Did the Lexus King segment with all the Birthright guys? Was this on this show? Okay.
Yeah.
Please talk about this segment.
So for those who aren't familiar, which would be all of our listeners,
all of you, thankfully,
they have except for the Swink.
The Swink.
The Swink.
I don't know if the Swink even watches NXT anymore.
He's up all he knows. He's gonna pop in and correct something we get wrong any second now. They have a group in NXT called the Birthright.
The Birthright. The Birthright. We are not. No, they're literally called the Birthright. Okay.
And they're all second generation wrestlers. But none of them use their real names or their famous parents' stage names.
No. So the members of the Birthright are Lexus King, who is Brian Pillman's son, Brian Pillman Jr. Ariana
Wait, I
Grace.
thought he was Steve King's of Well Done's son. Rex King. I thought it was Rex King's son. Wait, do you tell how he's related to Brian Pillman?
He's Brian Pillman's son. I know it's hard to believe.
I always thought he was one half of Well Done's fucking son. All right, if you say so.
Here, I'm trying to pick one for this one. Ariana Grace.
I thought she was Grace Jones' daughter from Conan the Barbarian with Schwarzenegger. What do you mean, Ariana?
No.
She related to Santino Marella?
She is Santino Morella's daughter, yes.
All right.
Channing Stax Lorenzo, who I think is kind of...
Well, he just fucked Ariana Grace.
I guess if you've been inside of Santino's daughter, it counts. So.
And you count.
So good for him. I mean,
they're on-screen couple people. I'm not implying anything. They perform coitus in storyline is what I meant by that. Before I get canceled. Anyway, go ahead.
We are back. All right. So Channing Stacks Lorenzo again does not have a famous father. He is just banging the daughter of a famous wrestler.
Ariana Grace.
Yeah.
They
are a true. No. They are a true couple.
They're a real couple.
They're a real couple.
So it's both storyline coitus and real life coitus.
Correct.
That we're dealing with here.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, good for those kids. Good for those crazy kids. I hope they're fucking like Clark Connors and Tekla.
Yeah.
I hope they're just.
Speaking of Clark Connors, his brother Uriah Connors is in Birthright.
Oh, that's right. That's more family connections there with Uriah Connors, who of course is the son of Fit Finley. Because why wouldn't Uriah Connors be the son of Fit Finley? So yes, you have the Birthright group of people who are second generation stars, but they do not use the family wrestling names, which is the most WWE thing possible, really. And it's shocking that David Finley didn't want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Utterly shocking.
Unbelievable. So on NXT Vengeance Day 2026, Charlie Dempsey, who is Patrick Dempsey's son, famous actor Patrick Dempsey.
Yes.
Step by Step fame and insert, whatever other references. What comes to your mind?
Hold on now. That's Patrick Duffy.
That's right. Shit.
Patrick Dempsey is the sexy doctor from Grey's Anatomy.
That's right.
And currently starring in Fox's series, The Ghost is Dead or some shit. Where's Andrew Rich when you need him? Where's Andrew Rich when you need him?
Why did I mix up Patrick Dempsey and Patrick Duffy?
Patrick Dempsey. What the fuck is that Fox show that he's on now? It's Memory of a Killer.
Memory of a Killer. All right.
What I say, The Ghost is Dead.
The Ghost is dead. I was like, well, it didn't take a whole lot of time to come up with that one.
The Ghost is dead. Yes, that's usually how it works. Correct. The ghost is in fact dead. But that's Patrick Dempsey, who was once people's.
So that's Charlie Dempsey's father. Right.
Yes, he was once people's most sexiest man alive, and yes, that would be Patrick Duffy was the Step by Step.
Yeah, all right,
and also Dallas and many.
I apologize to Patrick Dempsey then.
Yeah, well, both of them were considered studs in their heyday. I can see why you were confused.
Yeah,
there have been multiple generations of moms who wanted to bone both of those men. Moms in the 80s wanted to bone Patrick Duffy, and moms in the 2000s wanted a piece of Patrick Dempsey from Grey's Anatomy. There's no doubt about that. And he don't look bad for 60 now. I'm sure there's some if I got TLB down here, she would 100% say that she would bone 60-year-old Patrick.
Because does he have a little bit of that salt and pepper still going on?
The salt and pepper going. He's got the gruff. He's got the scruff on the fucking face. That's right up her alley. So I'm sure she would bone now 60-year-old, just turned 60 this past January, Patrick Dempsey. What are we doing? All right, so
he's actually William Regal's. I'm now finding out. I'm sorry, he's William Regal's son.
That's right, and they're trying to recruit him into the Birthright.
Right.
Segment here.
So then Brian Pillman gets in. I'm just thinking we've been doing the Brian Pillman Jr. thing for like a decade now. I think I'm kind of ready to be done doing the Brian Pillman Jr. thing. So Charlie Dempsey's there, and and Birthright enters the frame from the right, and they're like, Charlie, I wouldn't worry about these ex-Olympians and these athletes or whatever, because Dempsey's hanging out with, like, I forget the other guy's name. These fucking some of the NIL dudes.
No, not the other Stevenson. The other guy, the guy that went to Noah. He's hanging around with.
Yeah, it's not Damon Kemp. At first, I thought it was Damon Kemp, but he's gone now.
No, he's gone. It's a guy that went to Noah. I can't remember.
Yeah, I forget his name too, but who cares?
Yeah, but that's his buddy in the storyline who's trying to tell him, you don't need Birthright. We're like, we're serious professionals.
Yeah. And Birthright's like, no, our fathers paved the way for professional wrestling. I was like,
they were champions, and then Lexus King named them all, because how would we know?
Right.
So he had to go down the line and name all of them.
And I'm going to say, I think he was going a little heavy on the impact that Santino, Fit Finley,
and Pillman
and Brian Pillman had. Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
He was like, they're all champions, and I'm like, Santino Marella, like,
and legends, they're champions and legends,
and they paved the way for the business and everything else, and And Dempsey belongs with them, but then Dempsey's shoot buddy is like, no, you're a serious professional.
Well, and then the best part too is Pillman's like, and we live on with their legacy, and I'm like, no, you don't. Your name is Lexus King. You don't live on with his legacy.
You literally ignore their legacy. You literally ignore it. So, I don't know if you saw NXT this week.
No, he turned. Patrick Dempsey did turn. So.
Well, why you gotta blow the spot?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Blow the spot. I'm gonna try to tell a story here.
Stories.
Yeah.
You've been listening to Boley, and you're like, you know what? He's onto something here.
I'm going somewhere with this. I got an entertaining little fucking bit to do. And you just, he turned. Well, you fucking step all over it.
I'm so sorry.
What are you doing?
I didn't know
We're trying to do a show here.
I didn't know you had a good bit. I didn't know you had a good bit. But
that was like, look, we're not sitting across each other at fucking Buffalo Wild Wings shooting the shit. Then you'd say, all right, yeah, he turned. And I go, oh, okay, yeah, you saw it. We're doing a show here, Rich Crage. I'm trying to entertain the masses.
Let's pretend that didn't happen. Hey, we got disconnected again. All right, start over.
I can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, Rich.
I'm so sorry.
The listeners don't watch NXT. They would have been thoroughly entertained. Do you know how many times on this show you will say something to me and I'll play dumb? Because I know it's for the benefit of the show. You'd be like, oh,
You're
Joe,
like Booker T. You're like Booker T. You play an imbecile sometimes.
I play an imbecile. You'll be like, oh, Joe, that All Japan Junior title match, did you catch that this week? And I'll say, and I will have watched it, right? But I'll go, no, what happened? Because you're about to do something for the show. You're about to do something entertaining for the benefit of the listener, right? So I'm like, no, I didn't see that match, which I saw. And then as you talk about the All Japan Junior title match, I'll be like, oh, really? Oh, what? Wait a minute. Hold on now. What? And then I'll contribute, right? It's a work. A lot of this is a work. You got to work sometimes. You got to work sometimes. You don't just blurt out, oh, yeah, he turned.
I didn't know you had such a good bit about Charlie Dempsey. I apologize.
Oh, I was going to talk about the turn, but now I can't because you just blurted it out like we're just hanging out somewhere. Like we're on the couch watching Georgetown play Villanova here, and I'm just like, hey, did you happen to see the Charlie Dempsey angle this week? Oh, yeah, he turned. That would be fine. No one would have any problem with that. You know, I'd be like, oh, yeah, right. Oh, see that jump shot? You know, we'd go on watching the game. We're trying to do a show here. My God, these people have been robbed of the description.
I didn't see it. Does it make you feel better that I didn't see it? I just heard about it.
Patrick Dempsey's son turning on Patrick Dempsey on NXT. You know, and now that's it. Now I'm embarrassed, to be honest. I'm a little too embarrassed to tell the story. So.
Tavion Heights was the guy that we're trying to.
Tavion Heights, that's the one. Tavion Heights, which sounds like a show on the CW.
Tavion Heights, it does.
Tavion Heights sounds like a show on the CW. Which is
they're on the right network. You got to admit, this show is on the right network.
Tune in to Tavion Heights, and it's just these people that are so conventionally attractive that they're not attractive anymore.
That are supposed to be in high school.
but they're so attractive that they're not attractive anymore.
Yeah, they're like, annoyingly attractive. They're like the men have just these perfectly chiseled chins, and you're like, that guy's kind of, I don't know, I don't get it. Like I get it, but I also think he's ugly. He's so hot, he's ugly.
The most stereotypically blonde fucking 22-year-old white girl you've ever seen. Who you're like, wait, I'm supposed to think she's hot, and I guess she is, but I don't want to fuck her. Like those kind of attractive people. Like where they're not attractive, even though they're so attractive. That's who would be on Tavion Heights on Wednesday nights on the CW at 8 o'clock. Yes. And yeah, he turned. He did the turn.
Yeah.
He did the turn. Regal and Finley came out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They got him all.
You blew. See, I would have had this whole thing. You know, even you would have been entertained by it, right? And, he turned his back on Tavion Heights and gave him a fucking German suplex on the floor. There you go. What do you think of that? Birthright.
Birthright has really added
Charlie Dempsey.
Really? Yeah, wow. Yeah. Birthright.
NXT, fucking garbage.
Trash.
Absolute fucking garbage show.
Oh, God. All right, well, now we don't have to talk about it until...
Who likes this show? Can I start burying people? Brian Alvarez doesn't like it anymore, right?
I think he's off. Yeah, I think he's done with it. Well, but there was a time where he was out.
Does Jeff Hawkins enjoy the show? Can I bury him?
Ooh, you might have to ask if Jeff. I don't know if Jeff likes it or not. I bet Rob McCarron likes it.
He might. He's been out of the game a while. No,
Right.
come on. He can't possibly.
I don't think he does, but he might.
Come on. But I can't buy anybody like him.
No.
Does the guy who said does the guy on Twitter who said I can't review Evolve because 2BB tripping does he enjoy NXT? I bet
that was Corey Hayes of BodySlam.net,
Corey Hayes,
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
that
2BB
was
bugging.
That
2BB bugging
on a night
Evolve.
when there was just like 1,000 things to watch.
Yeah.
In the world, in sports, and I mean, like if you're a sports fan, this is like an ungodly amazing week. You got the World Baseball Classic. You got
everyone was on Tubi watching the World Baseball Classic, which is why it wasn't working.
Right. So,
but he couldn't live tweet his Evolve gifts.
Evolve. Imagine
2BB tripping or whatever.
Bugging. 2BB bugging.
2BB bugging.
Yeah.
I think is what he said. So
I just
that guy likes NXT. Right?
Yeah, that guy likes NXT for sure.
That guy definitely likes NXT. Like unironically, like he thinks he was like, oh, Dempsey joined Birthright.
Yeah, that's a big member for Birthright.
He was texting his buddies, you know, and trying to gift that shit. He's like, I think the dolls are talking to Tatum Paxton.
Yeah, I think Izzy Dame's being mean.
Right.
Right.
So
he got out of his shit because when Tatum Paxley won the title, you know, she held it over and Vic's talking about the dreams of everybody and never give up on your goals or whatever. And it was a real inspiring moment for Tatum Paxley to win. So I bet he got up off his lazy boy recliner and went, yeah.
Tubi, or as Chris Mad Dog Russo called it all week, talking about the World Baseball Classic, Tubu.
Yeah, I gotta watch it on the Tubu. It's on Tubu? What's Tubu?
So I'm looking for this Dominican Republic Venezuela game, and it's on Tubu. My daughter wasn't home to help me, so I couldn't, Tubu. Yeah. He called it Tubu for 3 hours of his radio show.
Nobody corrected him.
Tubu. Nobody corrected him. Tubu. So
yeah, that's good. All right. Well, yeah. That's NXT.
Well, that was NXT. I guess that's all of our WWE topics.
Yeah. Oh, real quick though, Joe, you're done. I think or no, I guess you're not done. I was gonna say Ray DeReyes is that tomorrow?
I'll talk to you about that privately, but let's do it in front of the audience. I think I'm going to make you watch these because I think Ray DeReyes is a big time event, and I think we need content, of course. You want to know the best part of this, though?
I have to watch it over 3 or 4 weeks, right?
That's not even the best part. That's an exciting part of this.
I hate that it's not just on one night. Because I would have said, you know what, fine. If I have to swallow a pill and watch this thing for 2.5 hours on Saturday or whatever, that's fine. Whatever.
You got to watch 3 weeks of AAA on Fox Latin America so we can cover Ray DeReyes. This is the best part, and this snuck up on you, and I don't think you realize this right now. Week 1 with Dom versus Vikingo. You got to review that yourself. It's March Madness week, baby. I'm taking the week off. So Rich Craich is going to come on here next week and review Triple H (Latin America) Ray DeReyes week 1. How about that?
I forgot you take this week off, right? Yeah,
that's right. It's week coming up.
God damn it! All right.
Yeah. No Thursday for me, buddy.
Mm-hmm. We got 2 flagship weeks, so we'll just do the one flagship on the Wednesday.
So you're going to try to sneak me in there on an afternoon show to get this Ray DeReyes.
Get that first 4 right before that first 4 tips off. I'll get you.
Yeah, right before on Tuesday, right before the Dayton games.
Right. I can sneak that shit in before the first 4 for sure. Yeah, lock it in with. Whoever the fuck, yeah. Who's our first 4? Who's on pace to be our first 4?
Oh, you definitely didn't see then, did you? Do you know who's calling? Now they're not calling all the games, but here, let me see if I can pull this up for you. They announced the broadcast teams. What is I think it's March Madness on. What's the name of the account? March Madness on TV. Okay. For the Dayton games. See if I can find this. All right. Game 2 on Tuesday. Are you ready for this broadcast team?
Yeah, let's go.
Brian Anderson on the call. That's a pro. Brian Anderson, he does the Brewers games. He does little NBA, little NFL.
Some national MLB stuff too. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good, solid guy. Yeah.
Fox MLB. Here are the analysts working with Brian Anderson for Game 2 on Tuesday. Charles Barkley and Dick Vitale in the same booth with Brian Anderson. So there you go. And, of course, the other first four games are Jordan Kent and Jim Spinarkle, the real team. Yeah. And then, so there you go. Charles Barkley and Dick Vitale.
That's, you know what? I'm listening to that one.
You think that's going to go off the rails a little?
Oh, yeah. And Dickie V, I mean, you don't know how many more years he got. I mean, like, I kind of got bored of the Dick Vitale thing like 20 years ago. But the clock's ticking on Dick. You know what I mean? Like, so it's probably time to enjoy him, a couple more times. I don't know how many more Dickie V and him and Charles calling. Oh my God,
that's crazy, isn't it? Brian Anderson has his hands full. Nate Burleson joins the host desk for March Madness this year. Yes, NFL
former NFL wide receiver Nate Burleson.
Correct.
Joins why can they just not put all right, whatever.
So New York will be Adam Zucker directing traffic with Clark Kellogg, Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, Nate Burleson, and Renee Montgomery, whoever that is. It's just like the Naked Gun broadcast booth. There's 500 people.
Feels like too many people, and nobody knows anything
of them
about.
Don't belong there.
Yeah.
Dr. Joyce Brothers. Just what are we doing?
Can we get one college basketball nerd in that booth to really?
You got Clark Kellogg, who never says anything.
Yeah, does Indiana Pacers games, I think, still, right?
Clark Kellogg's been doing college basketball on CBS for like 30 years, and I don't think he's ever said anything insightful one time. He just goes, it should be a good one.
Yeah, he's the voice of NBA 2K as well. Yeah. And I imagine his NBA 2K commentary is about the same as his actual college basketball commentary.
Yeah, it's awful. He just never says anything. Like he agrees with the committee every year. It's a great call. It's a great
call. Put them in there. Every time
all those both teams are right. They got it all right. He doesn't disagree with anything. Right. He just, maybe you prefer the Atlanta desk. It is Adam Lefkoe directing traffic.
All right.
With Bruce Pearl, Jamal Mashburn.
Oh, Monster Mash. All right.
Jalen Rose, and Seth Davis. So you got two college basketball guys.
Hey, at least you got Davis in there. That's all right.
Pearl, Bruce Pearl, a coaching perspective, right?
Yeah.
And then the two NBA guys. Ernie Johnson doesn't show up until the Final Four. He's a big shot. He's not going to be there for round of 32.
He's not watching McNeese State or whatever. He didn't give a fuck about any of that.
He's not doing that. So there you go. Those are your broadcast teams for March Madness coming.
It's always a really bad production, to be honest. It's really terrible. I don't understand.
The studio stuff is the absolute drizzling shit. Yes.
Just get basketball nerds. Like, this is the most nerdy basketball time. Like, get bracketologist guys. Get, like, people want to have nerd shit at this time. Like, nobody wants casual, like, I'm just watching the games. Like, everyone wants, like, nerdy, like, here's what you should do for your bracket, or here's this guy. Like, this is when people dig in. They don't know anything about these teams. Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It seems really weird to have guys that why is Nate Burleson? Like, what the fuck? Who cares what Nate Burleson thinks about this college basketball game I just watched?
Nate Burleson, seriously. Yeah. It's crazy. It's
Chris
crazy.
Carter wasn't available? Like, what are we doing here? What the fuck?
What's Steve Largent up to?
Right. Who fucking cares what Nate Burleson has to say
Nate
about
Burleson.
Just as if they had the Super Bowl, I wouldn't want Jamal Mashburn talk about the Super Bowl either, right? Like, I don't know, Jim Jackson. I recommend Jim Jackson or his thoughts on the line stunts for the Seahawks. Yeah, all right. So here you go. It's
just so hard.
Ohio State basketball legend Jim Jackson here to talk to us about offensive line play in the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's like, what?
Well, all the nerds are calling the games. They've got the nerdy analysts like Jim Spinarkle is going to be calling a region. Wally Zerbiak, Robbie Hummel, Steve Lapis. Steve Lapis is tremendous. So all the nerds are like calling the games. And they just get the gimmicks in the studio.
Yeah, all right.
So, Bill Raftery's still kicking around.
I like that for him. Yeah, good for Bill.
Onions. Yeah, he's great. Iron Eagles on the number 1 team now with Raftery and Grant Hill.
That's a great team. I like that. I like the sound of that. Yeah.
All right.
Fuck, Ray DeReyes. All right, that's fine.
You got to do it. It's Ray DeReyes. How can you blow off Ray DeReyes?
You can't skip Ray DeReyes. No.
You listen. What this does, though, for the listener, if you're listening, you're getting a fucking paywalled flagship this week because Craich is going to make me review that with him, is what he's going to do.
Probably.
On Tuesday or Wednesday, you guys are going to get the little notification that there's a flagship at noon because he's going to make me review the Ray DeReyes and it'll be the Ray DeReyes and Revolution Fallout on Tuesday afternoon. You can bet. I see the text message coming through already. Okay, so you're going to get yourself a 2 flagship week. Good time to get on the $10 tier. Also, for Instant Reaction Live this Sunday, AEW Revolution, which is our next topic, very seamless transition. You're going to need to be on $10 tier for that anyway. So if you are dropping in for the Instant Reaction Live, if you're on the fence, well, you're probably going to get a live flagship early next week as well. So a lot going on that $10 tier. And I guess we should just do Revolution now, right?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, so again, Instant Reaction Live, you're going to make sure you get to the $10 tier Sunday. The show is Sunday night, immediately following the show. It's been a while since we've done one of these because AEW, long break between their pay-per-views. But yeah, it's one of our most popular things we do, one of our favorite things that we do. Chat room's always buzzing. A lot of people are always there. A lot of good discussions. And really fun show as well, usually. So the best live post pay-per-view review show in the game. Instant Reaction Live available exclusively on the flagship Patreon $10 tier this Sunday. It is a Sunday pay-per-view. They are back to Sundays. I just want to reiterate that. Not a Saturday show. Football is done, so we're back to Sunday for Revolution. So, yeah, let's get after it. Revolution here. So, 2 0-hour matches announced so far. We have Willow Nightingale defending her AEW TBS title. I'm gonna combine the Willow Nightingale matches here because I think it's important to talk about both. So on Dynamite, Willow Nightingale's like, I'm feeling good. I'm gonna defend my title against Lena Cross. So AEW TBS title match, Willow Nightingale versus Lena Cross, and that is gonna be double duty for them because Women's World Tag Team titles on the main show, Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale defending the titles against Lena Cross and Megan Bayne. Now, I know what they're doing here, and I think you're probably smart enough to know what they're doing as well. But what did you make of this, that Willow and Lena Cross going double duty here, doing the TBS title and the tag team titles?
Yeah, I won't steal your thunder. I think it's your point, so go ahead and make it.
Okay, well, I think what we're doing here is Willow's going to win the TBS title match. She's going to beat Lena Cross, retain her title, and then she's going to lose the tag team titles. Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale are going to lose those titles to Lena Cross and Megan Bayne. And that, I guess, is a weird way to protect Willow Nightingale. Because it's like, how do you get these titles off of Willow Nightingale, but you don't want her to lose this TBS title? We'll have her fight Lena Cross. Maybe, a real tough match. Lena gives her all she can, handle, and Willow basically skirts out of there with a win or whatever. And then she just can't do it. She's just, not enough to help Harley Cameron. And Harley Cameron gets overwhelmed by Megan Bayne or whatever. And Megan Bayne pins Harley Cameron. Willow's not there and not there enough to help her out, and Babes of Wrath lose the tag team titles because you got to get the titles off the Babes of Wrath. You have too many other good women in this company right now, and you can't have the titles on this joke ass team. So that's where I think we're going with this, but we'll see.
To give them an out is what you're saying.
Right. It's an easy way to give them an out and protect. You want to protect Willow. You don't want, because if you just have Willow lose to Lena Cross and Megan Bayne, then it's like, oh geez, she's your TBS champion and she just lost the title. So this is kind of a weird way to protect Willow but still get those titles off of her, which is much needed. They need to get those titles off of them.
Yeah, and this, the Brawling Birds are clearly going to be the next push to tag team act. So you need heels for them to chase. So you want to get these tag team titles on heels. So it all makes sense. I agree that's probably why they're doing it this way. The other thing is, hopefully they peel back on Harley Cameron. I could use a lot less of her on TV. We could just slip her back into, doing fucking ads for Shop AEW and doing prelim stuff. I don't need her to be a title holder.
I'm good too. Yeah,
I don't need to watch her wrestle. So I think you're onto something, and I think that's exactly why they're doing 2 matches for Willow and Lena.
We also have the national title 21-man Blackjack Battle Royal. And now I believe the only names announced so far are the champion Ricochet, who is going into this Battle Royal and defending his title in this Battle Royal. And
this is so stupid.
I feel like I'd be like, nah, I'm not defending the fucking title. Screw you, And Tommaso Ciampa is the only guy. So we have Ricochet, Ciampa, and then 19 other guys, 19 other TBAs.
Now, Ricochet won it in one of these matches, but that was for a vacant title. Okay, that's fine. Why should a champion have to defend against 20 people?
Doesn't seem fair.
This is the dumb shit that you don't have to do in pro wrestling. You don't have to do this. You're in control. You're booking this shit. Just don't have champions have to defend their titles versus 20 guys. It's silly. It breaks immersion to me when you do things like this. I hate it. I can't stand it. I didn't realize Ricochet was in the match until I did the Dynamite review earlier today, $5 tier. And it bothered me. This is one of those things that I don't like it. So I don't know. And you'll just, hopefully there'll be a couple surprises here. And with AEW, there usually is, whether that means it's people coming back from injury or maybe some debuts or maybe some people that you typically only see in ROH. I think they'll throw a couple surprises in there. And, so it'll be interesting from that standpoint. But this should be Ricochet sitting at the broadcast desk on commentary while 21 people fight to be the number one contender. That's what this should be. He shouldn't be in the match.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. I don't really love it, but yeah, these are fine. It's good pre-show fodder, so whatever.
Is this the gimmick where you come out based on the suits of the card? Is that something?
I forget what a Blackjack Battle Royal. I think you're thinking of. I don't think it's that one. No, that's
theme.
Yeah, you're thinking of the shit. What is that one called? I'll remember it. The chat room will remember it. No, there's a different. No, I don't think this is the. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I thought that one was on Double or
Nothing.
Nothing.
What's the gimmick with this one then? This one's gonna have.
I guess it's the Blackjack Battle Royal, so it's got to have some sort of gimmick. I guess. Well, is the gimmick just that there's 21 men, so that's why it's the Blackjack Battle Royal? Because the Casino Battle Royal.
I think I need a video package because I don't know.
Brian Alvarez is right. Yeah, vindicated.
I don't know what the fuck this thing is.
Brian is vindicated. Yeah, we need a video package. So,
yeah.
Anyway, also on the pre-show, just announced today. I know you're excited about this one. They're back, Joe. Boom and Doom. Big Boom HA. A year after the meme has been dead and gone and nobody cares anymore. And QT Marshall versus the infantry of Captain Sean Dean and Carly Bravo. Stick this guy in the Battle Royal, for God's sakes. What are we doing here?
How about just not book him?
That's another option. That is certainly, if you must, which apparently you must. I don't know why, but if you must, just stick him in the damn Battle Royal. Put him in the Paul Walter Hauser spot. Like if Paul was going to show up, have him there. And if Paul's not going to show up, just say, you know what? Hey, Big Boom AJ, we're going to put you in that spot. You can do your little dance. You can say boom, and then you can go in. You can knock one guy out. No, knock Carly Bravo out of the ring. Eliminate Carly Bravo. Do the little dance. 5 booms, and then turn around, and then someone clotheslines you over the top rope, and we're good. And I would simply just not book him. I think you have the right idea, but I cannot believe we're still doing this. And by the way, where's our apologies? I have not heard any apologies. Could we have been more right about what these guys? People were honest to God, being like, actually, it's a really good idea to feature them. I mean, they're gonna bring numbers. People are gonna watch to see these guys. Really? What planet do you live on?
We demonstrated that didn't happen.
No.
You don't have the argument of, well, actually, the show's in New Jersey, so maybe it'll help sell. No, the show's in fucking, where is the show?
Crypto.com, Los Angeles.
So you don't have that. It's just, why don't we just, call it what it is? It's Tony Khan. It likes the guy, and he's friends with him, and he's going to book him twice a year to work these pay-per-views.
Right.
And, it's the Rizzler is going to rub his chin, and Big Justice is going to knock over Carly Bravo or something, and it's whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, I just don't need it anymore. I think we're past it, right? Like,
I thought we were.
I mean, nobody cares anymore about Like, I want you to ask the boy one of these days about the big boom guys and see what his thoughts are.
No, he likes them. He likes them.
Still?
Yeah, they spent the weekend with their grandparents, and when they came home, he comes running up the stairs. He's like, Dad. I'm like, yeah. He goes, guess what? We went to Costco this weekend. I had a double chunk chocolate cookie.
Oh,
he was all excited.
Okay,
to tell me all about it too.
So they're still hot.
And I said, well, did you have a chicken bake? And he did not try the chicken bake,
okay.
but he did try the double chunk, and he says it like with the gimmick way too. Double chunk chocolate cookie, like he said, So so it's over with the boy. It's definitely
interesting.
Over with
okay, all right. Well, hey, I'm wrong. I'll apologize then to.
I don't. Well, no, don't because he's a geek. Because it's not over with anybody else.
Okay, it's just your dumb boy.
He's a dope. Yeah, you absolutely do not have to apologize for that.
But he's done with 6'7" though, right?
6'7" is dead.
Okay, but these guys still have a little bit going for your dopey.
At least with him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think his friends are like following them on TikTok.
Okay, I'd like to get a survey if possible at some point. So.
And the girl certainly has no interest.
Well, are you going to call them into the room when they enter the ring?
It's 10:17 at night. I can't call them into the room. They're fast.
No. When they're on the pre-show, I'm not saying wake your kids up and bring them in now.
Sunday.
No, this Sunday, yeah.
I mean, I'll go shake them and wake them up if you want.
No. He's probably up already, right? Is he a rebellious? Does he stay up late?
Well, it's spring break, so they don't have a bedtime. But he's definitely asleep by now.
All right,
they're fucking kids. They're up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Of course, he's asleep.
Yeah, that's true. I'm up and I wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm still up. So
I don't know what to tell you. You're
all right, well, go find him. I want to hear his reaction. Go find him on Sunday and bring him into the room.
I can see. I mean, he comes in when Logan Paul is wrestling, but he only stays for like 30 seconds and he gets bored.
By World Wrestling Entertainment, yeah, join the club, yeah.
Yeah. If I Show Speed is on, I'll call him in the room, and again, he'll watch for like 30 seconds, and then he just wanders and walks off.
Yeah, right.
But I'll call him in for this. He might. We'll see.
I just want to get the takes. I want to get the Big Boom AJ and Rizzler takes and all that stuff for him.
Well, he thinks that Carly Bravo doesn't sell well enough. So
Captain Sean Dean. He's a little in between on Captain Sean Dean. His arm drags aren't really tight. He doesn't really lock it in. So
right.
Your PWO, the boy who posts on PWO. Yeah. All right, so let's get to the main show here. Those are the pre-show, the 0-hour matches. Elsewhere on the show, we'll start with the main event here. Last chance Texas death match for the AEW World title. MJF defending the title against Hangman Adam Page. If Page loses, he will never be able to challenge for the AEW World Championship ever again.
Yeah, I mean, I get the idea why people think this is dumb and you don't want to, Cody Hangman. But why can't Hangman just win? Why hasn't anybody brought that up? I mean, why can't he just win the match? I mean, all of this consternation or whatever over whether the gimmick's going to kill him if he loses, or, they're either going to have to break the gimmick at some point, or the gimmick's going to hurt him the way it hurt Cody. But I just think he's just going to win the match. That's where I stand on it. I mean, I hope they don't do something dumb where he loses and then 6 months from now they find a loophole. No, you have to honor your stipulations. I think that's important.
Yeah.
And I think AEW always has. So, I think that the most likely outcome here is Hangman just wins the belt back. This isn't the early days of the promotion where they had their first 4 champions planned out to a T. It's not like that anymore. It's very clear that the booking isn't as long-term as it used to be. So, they're doing more rapid-fire world title changes. It's really been that way for a while now. So, I don't know. Why can't Hangman just win?
Yeah, I agree. And that's kind of a big reason why I thought that a lot of people freaking out about the stipulation when it initially came down. And I was thinking, well, I get it, because the Hangman Page is like, look, I want my match. And I think you want to continue to establish that Hangman Adam Page, you put him in a Texas death match, he's probably going to win. You know what I mean? That's his match type. He's dominated those matches. And yeah, he wanted to, he knew that if I get MJF in my match, I have a real good chance of winning this title. And he did. And the only way he could really do that, though, is by saying, look, if you do a Texas death match and you beat me, I'll never challenge for that title again. But that's bravado. That's babyface bravado. That's babyface confidence of him saying, fuck it, yeah. I don't see why he can't just win it. And I think that's
the idea is he's braver than he is smart, and he worked himself into a shoot with that stip. But I don't see it that way. It wasn't like MJF coaxed him into accepting a bad stipulation. Like, he just offered that up.
Right.
With confidence.
Right. Saying, look, I'll put my career on the line, or my title career on the line, because it's a Texas death match and I'm going to win it. Because I do.
I didn't see it as an impulsive thing in the storyline.
No. I think that's just like, bravado.
Well, you know what, MJF? Well, it wasn't like that. It was almost like he was calculated when he made that offer. He had thought it through.
Well, he knew that was like an offer that MJF wouldn't refuse.
Correct. Right. Like, he's so confident that he could win that kind of match that he had to give, but that he's not afraid. And he knew MJF would accept it.
Yeah.
So I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't think it's impossible. I think, it's maybe MJF beats him and they have some creative way to get Page out of there, or Page truly wants to challenge himself to not go for the title ever again. But that just seems like, I think the easiest solution here is just Hangman Adam Page hits the fucking buckshot lariat to a bloody MJF and just takes the title from him. That's fine. It's okay. I think we got so caught up for a long time with very long title reigns. This is across the board in wrestling. We had these really, really long title reigns, and anytime a champion changed, it was like, oh my God, this is a transformative thing. And I think we can probably dial that back a little bit. And like you said, AEW has kind of dialed it back a little bit now and a little bit lately. And I think it's not the worst thing ever to have this title kind of bounce around a little bit at this point too. And MJF, if anybody can take a big loss and not really lose much from it, it's MJF, and especially MJF in a last chance Texas death match. So I think Page is probably going to win this, but I'd be interested to see how they get around it if MJF does win. But I would want them to uphold that stipulation. I don't want something where whoever the champion is in 8 months says, no, I want Page to challenge me. And Page goes, I said I wouldn't. And then, Tony Khan has said it's all right. He can challenge for it. I don't want to do something like that. That sucks. And people thought that's where Cody was going to go eventually. Yeah, and I think maybe after 5 years or whatever, you could do that. But that's not something you should even broach that subject for a while. And Cody didn't. Before he left, he had never even broached that subject of dropping that stipulation.
No, his goal was to make the TNT title super important by holding that instead.
Yeah.
And if you're going to break that stipulation, you better have a real creative idea.
Right.
If you're going to do it. Since the MJF title reign, the initial MJF Brochacho reign, there has really only been one title reign that I would call of any serious length. Samoa Joe was 113 days. Swerve was 126. Danielson was 48. Moxley, 273. That's the long one. And then you had Hangman, which they cut off short, 133 days. Samoa Joe, a month. And now this MJF reign, which if he loses will be less than 80 days. It'll be 79 days or something like that. So it's just not a long title reign promotion like it was. And it really hasn't been that since the earliest days, really since Hangman beat Kenny. Since that point, and a lot of it was injury and things like that, the whole CM Punk, and I'm not talking about Brawl Out, but the injury stuff with Punk and Moxley bouncing back and forth, the interim stuff, that had something to do with it. And then MJF had the really long one, and since then it's just really been Mox. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if they just put it right back on Hangman. Now, I like long title reigns, and I think that makes the title feel more important, and it makes title changes feel more impactful. But that's just not what they really are anymore. So I don't know. I just think Hangman's just going to win the title. I think that they're better off doing that than doing something overly convoluted or, having Hangman break the stick. I don't know. I think he should just win the belt. And then, whatever match you have planned for Will Ospreay at Wembley, I know a lot of people thought it would be MJF and Ospreay. Why can't it be Hangman and Ospreay? Why can't it be your top two baby faces?
Yeah, who knows?
Why can't you do that? You could do that. They've got history too.
Or you see who gets hot. Maybe somebody gets hot in between that time. I think, having...
Play it on the fly.
Yeah, so much of wrestling these days feels like it's so much, this is the plan, and this guy has to win the title, and that guy has to win the title, and that. It's just who's hot, who's got momentum, you can play around with this a little bit more.
Yeah.
It happens so
Tony
rarely.
typically doesn't operate that way, but I agree that you should sometimes. That hasn't really been in Tony's DNA, but sometimes you do have to go with the hot hands.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's plenty of history too to draw from with Hangman and Ospreay. And that, of course, is working under the premise that Will Ospreay is going to have this big crowning achievement world title win at Wembley. We're all just assuming that.
Right.
Who knows if they're even doing that?
That's what I mean. So many people live in these ideas like, well, it's got to be this guy after this guy after this guy, and then this guy's going to win the title here, and then that guy's going to win the title there. And it's like, well, after Ospreay wins it at Wembley, well, then Fletcher's going to win it in Australia the next time. It's like, calm down. Like, just it seems like such a weird way to consume wrestling and go about it. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's just like, let it play out. Who knows? Someone's going to get hot. It's the way I would do it. But yeah, I agree. I think it's just easier. It's such a strong stipulation that I think you have to, if you do it, you really have to make sure you want to do it. And you really want, I don't know. It's to me, it's a little too risky. So I would just have Paige win this title. But I don't know. It's intriguing. I'll tell you this. The stipulation has made me much more intrigued in this match than I would have been normally.
Very intriguing. They've made it very interesting because it feels like there's real stakes involved if Hangman loses.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And not just pro wrestling stakes, like big time stakes.
Yeah, because they didn't break the stip last time. And that's why you don't break your stips. Okay? That's why you don't break your stips, because now people are worried. They're like, oh shit, if he loses, that motherfucker's never challenging for this title again because Cody didn't. So of course to me, the stip has helped the match. There's no doubt about that.
I agree. Elsewhere on the card, we have FTR versus the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Of course, this match has happened several times. These guys have weird chemistry where you would assume that every one of their matches fucking rocks, but they haven't all rocked. I don't know. I think FTR is doing some of the best work of their career right now. The Bucks feel rejuvenated, so I'm hopeful for this match. I really think that if they're gonna land on that one match that we look back on and go, okay, FTR and the Young Bucks, they finally did nail it this one time. I think this could be the one because I think both teams are just at the top of their game right now.
I don't remember. That's a 3. I don't remember all the details of all of their matches, but they had one or two that were very overindulgent, and that seems to be the problem with them.
Yes.
And these are two teams that could, that sometimes go that way with their ideas and whatnot. That's another 3. Oh, baby, Hoya Paranoia. We're going to the semis, baby. Up 14 with 5:32 left. Oh, baby. Unfortunately, this is saving Ed Cooley's job. I was hoping he would lose in the first round. This just bought Ed Cooley another year winning these 2 games.
I have the MEAC tournament. I got real basketball on my TV. I got the MEAC tournament. Maryland Eastern Shore just hit a big 3 to take this thing to OT against North Carolina Central. So big time MEAC game right now. So
yeah, I'm watching the most historical basketball tournament in college basketball.
In what building? In what rinky-dink arena is that taking place in?
A little arena called Madison Square Garden, Rich Craig. A little arena called Madison Square Garden. Yeah. Let me tell you something. There is still something special about the Big East tournament when you put that on and it's in Madison, because basketball games just look different in the Garden. Especially
I have that same way every Christmas when that Knicks game is on in Madison Square Garden at like 12 o'clock. I'm just like, that's a place.
That is a building. That is, yeah.
Well, I remember walking to that building when I went to New York, and I remember just like walking up there, and I'm like, this fucking Madison Square Garden, man. It just it hit me in a way that I didn't think it was going to hit me. I was like, man.
Yeah, and for a Jersey kid like me, I mean, Big East tournament, I mean,
that's it. That's the big one.
That's the kind of shit where your old man would let you stay home from school to watch like the early games. Oh, I'd be like, Dad, I stay home today? No, go to school, you little shit. It's the Big East tournament. Oh, I didn't know. All right, yeah, you can stay home. That's how it would be. You got to watch, St. John's play Miami of Florida at 12 o'clock in the first round. Yeah, so FTR and the Bucks, look, they haven't had a match in a couple of years. So I am hopeful that with the Bucks getting back to their old ways and FTR being on the great run that they're on, that they can maybe have one of the better, if not the best match they've ever had against each other.
Yeah, they just feel like this is the time to. It just feels like they both honed in on their characters perfectly. The Bucks are just back to what they used to be. The FTR is just doing really, really good work. So yeah, this is, and it's like, it's not this. They've done this a couple times. This feels like the one time where they don't have to overindulge. You know what I mean? Like, just go out there and just have a really good 17-minute match or whatever. You don't have to worry about doing all these different things. So it's, I don't know. We'll see, but I'm hopeful for it. Konosuke Takeshita versus Jon Moxley, AEW Continental title, no time limits for this guy. So they've had, I like how they got the story together. They do a couple time limit matches and they go, we're going to go no time limit now. So we get a Continental Championship, no time limit, Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita. And this is another toss-up, man. I don't know. I feel like you're very justified if you want Konosuke Takeshita to win this match, but Moxley's pretty hot right now. And this Continental run's been a lot of fun. So I don't know. I'm okay with either winner. It's one of those where like either winner would be justified and either winner would work for me.
Moxley's been so great with this belt in particular. I mean, it's just, and I think what's interesting about him holding this belt is the Death Riders can't be at ringside for his matches, which he's just going out there and wrestling, man. And he's a baby face and the rest of his group are heels. So it works from that standpoint for him to just go out there and wrestle. And, they did the draw. Now they're going to have no time limit. Takeshita is also a baby face in a stable of heels. Yep. You can't do the interference. So, you have to have a finish here. And again, you get the sense that this is another 50-50 match, like you said. I mean, you could justify putting this title on Takeshita and then doing whatever story you're going to do with him. Remember, Okada said everyone's got a belt here except Takeshita, right? He keeps needling him about that. So, I don't know. Or if Moxley wins, then Okada could keep needling Takeshita about not being a title holder. There's a lot of different ways you can go here, but I think they have a better match in them than the time limit draw, and pay-per-view is a perfect place for that. So I don't know. I don't want to overthink it. This is one of my more anticipated matches on the show, and I just want to sit back and watch.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really excited about this one. Andrade versus Bandito, just a straight-up singles match. Andrade, Bandito. Yeah, I mean, it's Andrade and Bandito. So
it feels like this show has 140 matches on it.
It's 13 total with the pre-show. That's a lot of matches. It's going to be a long night.
Wall to wall. They might even add something to the pre-show because sometimes they have 4. They can't add anything to the main show because they have 10. Generally, they'll run 9. Sometimes they do 10. There's a lot here, and there's a lot here that's going to require some time. Including this match, which can't imagine is going to get anything less than 12 or 13 minutes. So it's interesting because they're pushing Andrade or have been pushing Andrade, but Bandito is clearly someone that Tony sees as a top guy. So it's interesting. Again, it's another interesting finish in terms of who gets the win here and who gets the. It's interesting to me. And I don't have a good feel for which. I think, again, I could see it going either way.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting prediction show here as we're doing this because I think a lot of matches are toss-ups. And this is another one, too, that I could totally be justified in Bandito winning and I could totally be justified in Andrade winning. So that's, and hey, it goes right into this next match, too. Brody King and Swerve Strickland. Now, I think I would probably have Swerve win this. You got the heel turn. You want to put him over a little bit. You want to make him a potential title challenger in the near future. But you could do all the same things with Brody, too. I mean, that'd be a big scalp for Brody to beat Swerve. And maybe you do want to have Brody go for another title shot if you want here too. So I could do it either way. I think I'm leaning towards Swerve though, and I think Swerve's probably the better guy to win this match. But yeah, if you want to tell me Brody King needs to win this match or should win this match, I'd listen to that too.
I would disagree with that from the standpoint of I think Brody has now reached the point where he can't get any higher on the card. He's not a top guy. So to me, he's not a top guy. But I think that he's in a really good place of being an upper mid-card guy. And upper mid-card guys put over top guys. So to me, unless you're going to continue this feud, at the end of the day, Swerve has to go over Brody King, is the point I'm making here. Mm-hmm. Whether it's on this show or it's some show down the line, Swerve has to go over Brody King because I don't think Brody King's a top guy. I think they've done a good job elevating Brody King to a new level, but I think this is where he lives now. Brody King isn't a good enough promo to be a top guy, and it's a crowded top of the card in AEW. And there's other people that are currently at his level now that I would push before him, like Kyle Fletcher. That's a no-brainer.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so I think Brody King has been elevated as far as he's going to go. And that means that eventually he has to put Swerve over. And the question becomes, does it happen here? Or is it this feud must continue kind of deal and it happens somewhere down the line?
We also have Tekla versus Chris Statlander. I know what I want out of this match. It's 2 out of 3 falls. Tekla beats her in 2 falls. No, I'm kidding. She's not going to beat her in 2 falls. I'm sure it's going to go to 3 falls. But you know what? I might just do it. You have made Tekla in short order one of the top women in this company, an awesome character. She's got a great look. There's obviously a lot of presence there. You've gotten her over to the point she's the champion. And we saw the Statlander thing, and it didn't quite work out. And I think she's another person that has had her run, and I think we're done. I think we're done with Chris Statlander world title runs. It's hard to do, but I might show some balls and just have Tekla beat her in 2 falls here. They're not going to do that. I know they're going to go to 3 falls, but
do it in 2 straight. Show some guts,
right? I mean, that would really, if you want to really establish that Tekla's the new biz and the new standard in this division. I mean, that would be a way. That would be a way.
I love the Toxic Spider. Huge fan of the Tekla. One of my favorite wrestlers right now. Her promos are just. They're so great.
Because she talks like a human. She doesn't have this like cadence. She doesn't have like perfect promo cadence or whatever. She's a little wonky, a little weird. You're not quite sure what she's going to say.
Helps a ton.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like she's got the great accent. And you're right. It's kind of like unpredictable. You don't know what the fuck's going to come out of her mouth. She might call somebody a bitch. She might go down some crazy fucking path. She just has this dangerous energy around her. There's a dangerous energy that sometimes is very difficult for American women's wrestlers to attain. That sort of unstable, dangerous energy. And she has it. I mean, American women's wrestling, because she's obviously not American. And you know what I meant. I didn't mean the heritage. I meant in American wrestling for women to have that kind of. In Joshi, they have it. They achieve that all the time. In American women's wrestling, it's fewer and further between. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she has that kind of unstable, dangerous energy around her, and I just think she's clicking right now. And I think it would be a mistake to go back to Stat.
Oh God! Oh, they can't. They cannot go back to Statlander.
No, I think it would be a mistake. I mean, Tekla just feels like the hotter act right now, and I think there's more meat on the bone for a title reign for her. I get excited just talking about her. I mean, she's just been a real joy to watch, no matter what she's doing on TV, whether it's cutting some insane fucking promo or it's working some crazy match. I mean, I've just loved watching her. So I hope she retains. I think they could have a really good match 2 out of 3 falls. I think they can do some creative things. So I'm interested to see what they come up with.
For sure. Don Callis family is trios for the World Trios Championship. Don Callis family, Okada, Fletcher, Davis versus Mystico and Jet Speed. I think the Don Callis family's probably retaining these titles.
This was a late ad. They made it official, I think, what was it, last week or this week? They made it official.
Yeah, I think last week. But
yeah, so, I don't know. Why would you take these titles off of the Don Callis family when they just won them? And that feels like a better storytelling device for them to have these titles.
Right. And I do think there's something bubbling there with Kevin Knight. And I don't know, like, I don't ever want to predict a turn in AEW because they usually don't do the turns when you think they're going to do the turns. They usually wait a little bit longer to do them. But something's bubbling there with Kevin Knight. And I do think at some point he's probably sending Speedball off to the. And I don't know if it's going to be here or a month down the line or 2 months down the line or whatever, but they clearly see something in him. And I don't know if they see him as a guy because you got Swerve kind of getting in his ear and trying to tell him, Speedball guy's kind of holding you down or whatever. So I think we're going to go in that direction. I just don't know when we're going to go there. So I would keep an eye on that. I would keep an eye on Kevin Knight because he's got the arrows pointed up for Kevin Knight and they clearly see a lot in him. So at some point, I think he's going to break off. Now, I don't know. Again, I don't know if he's going to do it as a heel turn or whatever, but there's no need for these guys to win the trio. The Don Callis family, it works so much better. And like you said, it works in concert with Konosuke Takeshita too, whether he has a title or not. He can either add a title and that helps the story, or he doesn't have a title and that helps that story too. You kind of can do it either way, but as long as everybody else in the Callis family can kind of show some gold and Takeshita either has it or doesn't, it's a good story. So.
Yeah, I think you keep it on them. I think you want Don Callis family to always have some gold. This puts a title on 3 different guys in the group. It's part of the storytelling, as we talked about earlier with Takeshita. And as far as Kevin Knight goes, a blind man could see that Tony Khan is very fond of him. And at some point, look, it might not even be for a couple of years, but that guy, if he sticks in this company, is going to be a player at some point, or he's going to be given the opportunity to be a player at some point.
Right.
And that's great, because you have to identify these guys at this stage of their career and decide, all right, if I'm going to push Kevin Knight or whoever at some point down the line, okay, even if it's not next week, even if it takes 2 or 3 years, I have to start establishing that with my audience now.
Yeah.
I have to start planting those seeds, doing things to show him at that level, give him a world title match against MJF on TV. It's fine if he loses. Everyone knows he's going to lose. That's okay. That establishes him as someone who's at the world title, a burgeoning world title level guy, right? You put these random champ trios titles and maybe the tag titles or whatever on him. You have, because you're planting those seeds now and telling your audience, this is someone who is a prospect both in kayfabe and out of kayfabe.
And as
I think
booker,
you're doing.
Sorry, finish your point.
No, I was done. I was just going to say I think they're doing a tremendous job of both of those things.
I was going to say, as a booker too, it's so useful to do that, because now you have to be mindful of how you use this guy in the future.
So hold yourself accountable.
Right. You've highlighted that guy and said, this is a guy that I think is going to be something. So now I need to be very careful with everything I do with this guy. I mean, some guys I can kind of, I have to be very careful. Everything I do with Kevin Knight, I have to make sure the audience knows that we're still behind them, and I need to make sure I'm still behind this guy, and that I can't just have this guy flippantly take losses or flip it. I have to be very careful about every single booking decision I make with that guy, and that's good. A good booker would do that, and a good booker would say, this is a guy who 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line, whatever it might be, I want to do something with him, so I now need to make sure that every time that I book this guy, that I'm mindful of it, and I keep myself accountable, like you said. And I think that's clearly happening with Kevin Knight right now. I think we're seeing it happen in real time.
For sure. Yeah, they're doing a great job with him. There's no doubt about it.
Timeless Tony versus Marina Shafir. Everyone is banned from ringside. Everyone. So Marina Shafir is on her own. I imagine that's Hoya's related and not Timeless Tony and Marina Shafir.
Maybe related. I just really love that stip.
Yeah, you're like,
don't know.
If anybody would want everybody banned from ringside, it is you.
Yeah, look, they've been building this match seemingly like fucking forever. So, Marina Shafir's been interfering in Toni Storm, getting in her business constantly. So, look, Toni Storm should just beat her here. That's how this should be the blow off of this months-long deal.
Yeah.
And that's just it. Toni Storm's the bigger star. I don't think you're ever going to give Marina Shafir a top-tier push. She's great in her role. I couldn't believe I'm saying Marina Shafir is great in any role.
They figured it out. They found out what to do with her.
You nailed it. They figured out how to get something out of Marina Shafir where she can excel. And this role was made for her. She hardly ever has to talk. All she has to do is be a nasty goon, and it works for her. She just has to mean mug and put people in MMA holds, and it's perfect. And this is a perfect example of just exemplifying someone's strengths, something that we talked about, I think, last week, and we talk about all the time. But she should put Toni over here, because Toni is someone who has been a major star for your company that brings television ratings and probably sells a bunch of T-shirts. And man, if Georgetown played this well all fucking year, this is almost depressing how well they're playing. She needs to go over because she's the bigger star. That's it. Very simple to me.
I believe it's Jordan Smith. Obviously, YouTube is fucked up, and they give you usernames now instead of people's names. But circling back to the Tekla thing that we were talking about, he sums it up perfectly. He says Tekla isn't the type to cry and hug her opponent after a good match while the crowd chants women's wrestling.
Oh my God! Exactly.
There it is.
Exactly.
Yep.
And
there's the difference in energy.
There may have been a point in time where women's wrestling needed that kind of energy, right? But we're past that. Women's wrestling, it's over now. Over in the sense that over with fans, not ending.
It's done. Joe is done with women's wrestling.
People are going to clip that.
You can take your POW and your glow and you can shove it up your ass. I'm done with
women's wrestling is over. It's done. Put a fork in it like Villanova. Put a fork in it like Villanova. Let's go, Hoyas. We're not afraid of UConn tomorrow. Let's go. Now I got to break it to my wife somehow that we're not going out for dinner. I got Hoyas
Right.
and the Big East semifinals at what is that? 8 Eastern? I can't read that. My eyes are going because I'm 100 years old. What does that say? The TV is very far, to be fair. I think they're playing 7 Central. That is the worst time.
Yeah, you're not going to dinner. Yeah,
That's like, how can I work that? We either have to eat with the senior citizens at 4:30,
right, or a real late dinner.
Yeah, and this is with the kids, so forget it.
Yeah, you're done.
I could just blame my foot. All right, so
good luck. Yeah, good luck with that. So, all right,
I've been limping around. Are you kidding me? I haven't been able to walk all week
Yeah,
with the plantar fasciitis. Today was I haven't come down.
Did my tips help at all or no? You
No,
probably didn't do
because
them.
it's on the. I did do them. It's on the back of my heel, not on the bottom of the foot. So, I was hopping around on one leg for like 2 days because I couldn't put any weight on it, and then as the heel was starting to get better from my gait changing and overcompensating, my shin started to hurt.
Yep.
So then I couldn't put any weight on the shin. So the only time I came down these stairs in the last week was to do audio for these shows. That's it. Like to record audio. And I would have to hop on one foot like downstairs with like the laptop under one arm and a fucking Coke Z under the other. I'm like hopping on one foot to come down here and do audio. Today was the first day where I could put weight on it, but I'm still like walking with a limp, but like I'm able to put weight on it and scoot around the house a little bit. But so I could just say that, I had a relapse and I can't, that's how I can get out of that dinner tomorrow, watch the Hoyas, you see? I could blame it on the foot. Thinking
10 steps ahead here.
I got a fucking fantasy draft on Saturday. I can't go. I got a fantasy draft on Sunday.
The Revolution's on
and
Sunday.
The pay-per-view. Yeah. So this is a rough spot. Even when the Hoyas win, I lose. It's crazy. All right.
Can you swing this into like going to Wild Wings and requesting that Georgetown be on the? There's got to be another Texas team that's going to take precedent at the big screen.
We're going to a very specific restaurant, which I'm not going to dox myself, but we're going to a very specific restaurant for a very specific meal. So I can't change.
That would not have a big screen television at your disposal.
There are TVs in this place.
Okay.
And they usually have sports on them. I would imagine they would have Fox.
I think you got to get. So here's the play. I think you got to get there a little early, or maybe a couple hours before. You slip a 20 in someone's back pocket and say, "Look, that TV right there. I want seated at this table, and that TV right there, Fox at 7 p.m. Please, thank you."
I'm gonna figure it out.
Good luck.
All right. Yeah.
Good luck. So we talked about the Babes of Wrath versus Megan Bayne and Lana Cross. And then trios match. Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong versus the Dogs.
This they set up last night.
Yes, this they set up last night. And this is one of these matches that, look, God bless. They set it up, and I get it, and it was a fun little angle, and Roderick Strong is a lot of fun right now, and he's going to be good, and the match will probably be pretty good. This is one where I'm just like, I didn't need this match on the pay-per-view, Tony. Like, I'm good, man. There's a lot of matches on this pay-per-view, but it should be pretty good. And, yeah. Hey, they set up last night, and it's fine. Whatever.
Traditional pro wrestling storytelling would see Roderick Strong turn on these guys and join the Dogs.
Correct.
I don't think they're going to do that, but that would be the obvious setup from what we saw last night. So AEW, whenever we think they're going to do something like that, though, they don't. They don't,
yeah, right. And you would think that after years of, poo-pooing the idea of joining Orange Cassidy, all of a sudden he decides to join them over. And it's like, I don't believe it. He's trying to just trick him and get him into a false sense of security. But yeah, you're right. Every time we think that, that's not exactly.
And then they never actually do it and go through with it. So, we'll see. It seems like, man. Did we really need that 10th match? I mean, it's
you're right. That's
loaded
what I thought,
fucking show. I'm telling you, they might add a pre-show match. Look, it's going to be a packed night of wrestling. If the matches are good,
they will.
Then who cares?
Yeah. Right.
Then who cares? If we get the hour and a half lull in the middle that you sometimes get, might be a little rough. But where would you get a lull on this show?
Yeah, that was
really
the
good.
Hikaru Shida portion of the show. Usually, the Britt Baker portion of the show.
Right.
We've upped the game a little bit here. I don't think Tekla and Chris Statlander are going to shit the bed in the middle of the in the show. Like timeless Tony Marina Shafir, could that get a little wonky? Maybe because Shafir's a little rough. Maybe, but other than that, man, I mean, I know The Don Callis family and Mystico Jet Speed aren't going to shit the bed or have a boring match. I know Andrade and Bandito are probably not. I don't think Brody and Swerve are. Yeah, they don't have those lulls anymore. I mean, when you take into account what these AEW pay-per-views look like now, and they used to be really good then. Except for there was, again, that hour and a half, that 90 minutes or whatever that were like, this is kind of a rough. They don't really have those anymore. Especially not this show. I don't see it on this show. I really don't. So I think it's just going to be 5 hours of really good, 6 hours of good wall-to-wall wrestling. And
I think in looking at it, I think some bad booking decisions can hurt this show. There could be some matches like Tony Storm, Marina Shafir that, you can't really count on Marina.
That's what I said. That's one that I'm circled that if there is going to be a disaster, it might be that one.
Could be that one. Babes of Wrath is always dangerous, but the thing about that is it'll be over. That act is over. So that'll help even if Harley stinks. And Lena Cross in a big spot for the first time, who knows? But other than that, I mean, everything here looks like, if you structure the card a certain way, you get 3 matches in a row that don't really land or some bad booking that takes the energy out of people. That's really, because the show is just too strong on paper otherwise. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it, though.
No, they almost always deliver. So it'll be a fun show to watch and a fun show to cover and review Sunday night. So after the show, we usually do about 5 or 10 minutes or so after the show wraps up. Instant reaction live. Flagship patreon.com, $10 tier. Now it is available exclusively on the $10 tier. You are not going to get the audio replay. The live viewing is on the $10 tier, and the audio replay is also on the $10 tier. So if you want to hear us review AEW Revolution 2026, and we go deep, it's not one of these reviews. You get these other places, they review it in 20 minutes or whatever. That's not going to be us. No, we will go 2+ hours guaranteed. There's been times where we've gone 3 hours on these reviews. We go long, we go detailed, we go each and every match. We talk big picture. There's some hijinks along the way. We give you your money's worth in terms of recapping these pay-per-views. So that'll be on the $10 tier, like we said, and exclusively there as well. But it's a lot of fun, and the chat room, like I said, is always always buzzing. So it's fun to watch live. If you can listen to it live and you can be in the chat room live, it's a really great experience. So I definitely recommend that. But that'll be Sunday night. Flagshippatreon.com again, $10 tier, instant reaction live. For Revolution. So real quickly here, Joe, and we have some baby things going on, so I might have to bounce. I will try to stay as long as I can, but I might send you a text and go on mute for a little bit and have you run the rest of the show. But let's
Matt Cardona.
Always ready. I know you're good, man. I know you're good. So just letting the listeners know if you all of a sudden you're like, wait, Rich hasn't talked in 25 minutes. What's going on here? We'll see. I got the monitor up. We'll see what goes on. But MyAEW launched. AEW's new streaming platform, MyAEW, seems to prepare for the impending end of Triller TV, who are many, many millions in debt and not paying people. And it just feels like we're waiting for the slow, inevitable death of Triller TV. And AEW is like, well, we got to get our ducks in a row before that happens. So that looks like what MyAEW is. So if you are outside of the U.S. and Canada, there is an $8 monthly tier that gives you access to AEW's new Fast channel. So you got a new Fast, ad-supported TV, free ad-supported a TV channel there. Live episodes of Dynamite and Collision, ROH weekly programming, live access to ROH pay-per-views, as well as AEW's TV archives. That is for the $8 monthly tier. Sorry, $7.99 monthly tier for MyAEW. Again, outside of U.S. and Canada. $19.99 a month. That gets you access to all the above that I just talked about: the Fast channel, live episodes, Dynamite and Collision, ROH weekly programming, live access to ROH pay-per-views, TV archive, plus one AEW pay-per-view airing during each month for the $19.99. Now that says accessible for 90 days. So you pay $20 a month. You're going to get all that stuff I just talked about, plus one AEW pay-per-view, whatever month that is, whatever pay-per-view is happening that month. But you can only access it for 90 days. After 90 days, it expires, and I don't know. We haven't figured that out yet, where this pay-per-view goes or how you can watch them after that. Then they have a $119.99, $120 annual subscription that gets you access to all the above, as well as every AEW pay-per-view event that year, also accessible for 90 days. So for $120, you get all the pay-per-views, Fast channel, live episodes, Dynamite Collision, ROH, pay-per-views, ROH weekly programming, and the TV archives. So There you go. If you're in America, you can only access the fast channel so far, and probably for a while they still have other deals.
I think, at those price points, some people might try to play around with VPNs.
Oh, yeah.
I will not do that. I don't want to mess around with that. I like to keep it simple, but I could see people screwing around with VPNs. As far as the service itself, there's so much bad analysis out there. This is very clearly just them preparing for the end of Triller. Yes. I mean, that's really all this is. So,
people are going big picture. Oh, they understand that WBD is going to go away or whatever. And I don't think that's
not what this is. They are preparing. And here's the other thing. This way they get to keep it in house and not have to chop it up with anybody either. So they probably just say, this Triller thing's fucking up. Instead of finding another partner to chop this up 50-50 or 60-40, why don't we just do this in-house, keep all of the money, and then we could even give people a break on some of the price points because we're not chopping this up with anyone. So that's all this is. I didn't think this was anything other than that from the moment I saw it, but there's going to be some bad faith analysis claiming that this is them preparing for doom. And there's also going to be just uninformed and ignorant analysis, for lack of a better term, that's what this is. But this is just Triller being in horrendous shape and potentially dying. So, that's what this is.
And it seems like something that AEW had been working on for a while. I think everything that has come out from them and people involved in that, it's been working for a while. I just think they're looking at Triller and the impending doom, and that can happen any day now. So they're like, well, we need to be prepared, at least for our international viewers, because international viewers were leaning on Triller and that AEW Plus for a while, and this kind of replaces it for them. So that's really what it's looking at. I don't think it's anything more than that, and but maybe it is also building the infrastructure that in case something does happen, you have this infrastructure that's built in, and you have a fan base that's bought in or whatever to this service. But yeah, it's just really replacing Triller for international viewers more than anything. It's good price points, so I get it.
Yeah.
I do like I'm a big fan of fast channels, so I'll check that AEW fast channel.
Love those fast channels.
I do enjoy them.
Love those fast channels.
It's what's good? It's when you're having that paralysis of what I should watch. You just turn on one of those and you're like, I'll just watch a fucking Unsolved Mysteries marathon. Why not?
I watch, I'll usually do Kitchen Nightmares, or I will do Portlandia.
Portlandia is a great fast channel show. That is, anytime we go to an Airbnb or whatever, or we're on vacation, and they don't have anything, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna watch Portlandia on this fast channel, and just because
the last time we were down at the beach house, Brittany and I crushed the entire run of Portlandia on a fast channel and wasted an entire day of the vacation in the house watching Portlandia.
Yeah, not a bad way to spend a day.
Yeah. Very good. Ordered pizza and everything, so it can't go anywhere. Got to have the pizza guy come, and we're watching Portlandia. Yeah, it's a very good fast channel.
All right, so that is MyAEW. Shinjuku FACE looks like it is done. After 21 years of operation, it is closing at the end of September. It was rumored about for a few days and unfortunately confirmed by the venue itself. Huge blow to Japanese wrestling, because this is a popular venue. We've probably mentioned this, Shinjuku FACE. We've mentioned it 1,000 times on this show over the years. Just to kind of give you an idea, already this year, 2026, 33 different shows have taken place at that building. Noah, Wave, Stardom, Oz Academy, DDT, Tokyo Joshi Pro, All Japan Pro Wrestling, GLEAT, Marigold, Basara, Uptown, Seedling, PPP, and then, of course, 01. They just held their 25th anniversary show from that building. I looked at it last year. Last year, they had 150 shows at that building. So now that is going away at the end of September. So it's a big time. That's a blow. That's a blow, especially for the lower promotions in Japan. The indies in Japan, that's a huge, huge blow, because that was a very popular venue for them. But yeah, the big guys would go there every so often too. So it sucks.
Now the owner's talking about building it again somewhere else.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that.
I did, yes. Now the location that they're in now, like that area is built up a lot, so they're like, hey, this old ass building, we got to get rid of it and build something new here. But he's been talking about how a couple, nearby I could build something, or a neighborhood over or whatever, I can build something. So they seem committed to try to build something. Now whether it happens or not and how long it takes, who knows, but we kind of need a building like this in this scene. So hopefully he does do something. or hopefully there is a replacement ready to go.
Listen, that little building is a big loss for a lot of these small companies.
Oh, huge.
They're going to have to replace that and figure out where they're going to run a lot of these shows. It's a very frequently used wrestling building, and it's a blow. There's no doubt about it. So, we've seen a lot of buildings in Japan either shut down for remodeling or shut down entirely. That building in Yokohama that All Japan used to run. You kind of run into these periods of time where buildings just get old and they either need to be torn down and replaced or remodeled or whatever. And we're seeing it again. And this one is a blow. There's a lot of micro indies and smaller promotions in Japan that run that place all the fucking time. And they're going to have to figure something out because it's closing in September.
Mm-hmm. Sucks. Yeah. So 150 shows last year, 33 shows already this year. So it's a frequent stop for a lot of these.
Business about to pick up, and Shinjuku first ring is what I'm
yes, for sure. Right.
That owner's rubbing his hands together.
Yeah, he's like, I can run every day if you want. How far is Shinjuku? I don't know my geography very well. Let's see.
Google map that shit.
I am.
See how long it is.
Already way ahead of you here. All right, Shinjuku FACE.
All caps on the face.
Oh, yeah.
Shinjuku FACE.
Yeah, to Shinjuku first ring. All right. Let's see. Oh, that's pretty far. Oh,
really?
It's like way the other side. Yeah, it's a 40-minute drive and a 50-minute train ride.
That's not a hop, skip, and a jump.
No.
That's significant. That's they're fucking nowhere near each other, basically.
No. This guy better build a new building quick. better find a spot to go because that sucks. But we'll see what happens.
They could all run the 01 war criminal
the shrine. We got arms wide open for the war criminal shrine that you can.
Speaking of which, I mean, we're not doing 01 tonight because
no 01 tonight. No.
All right, listen, I'm gonna do. I got 01 news. Well,
you want to do it here, or you want to wait? You want to wait for a plus?
I'll just do it all in one segment.
Okay,
I'll just do it all in one segment. So, all right, I will do 01 content in some form. Whether I want to hobble down here on one foot to do audio, maybe I'll do another. Maybe I'll write it up. I don't know. But I've got some. I'll cover the show that just dropped. What was the date on that fucker? I get the dates mixed up. 3/6.
Was this on Base Neo or did this drop on YouTube?
No. The show that dropped on Base Neo, the 3/6 show.
Okay.
With the Junya Matsunaga Hayabusa #1 contender match.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
That's what I thought we'd be talking about tonight. I'll review that. I will preview the 320 show because we now have a full card for the 320 show, and it's very good.
That's a good card. I looked at that earlier.
Yeah, and then
in Shinjuku, at Shinjuku first ring, by the way.
That's right.
Just talked about it. 25th hasn't happened yet, by the way. That's I want to preface this before anybody corrects us. The one that's in Shinjuku FACE, that is April 3rd. That's Bushi versus Hayabusa.
That's the anniversary show.
That's the anniversary show. Yeah, that hasn't I think earlier I said it has happened. It hasn't happened. It's coming soon, the 25th anniversary.
01. No, that's coming out. That's on 4/3. And they've got some big dates announced after that. So I'll do a separate audio because there's enough to talk about, I think. All right, so let's wrap. What do we got left for this one?
Osaka Pro. No, we're not doing 01, but we're doing Osaka Pro, motherfucker. Let's do it. BUSHI-DO 2026, available to watch for free on YouTube. So Osaka Pro, they have kept up the upload. So I don't know what's gotten into them. I don't know if it's going to happen all year round. We're going to get a bunch of Osaka Pro on YouTube. I don't know, but just take advantage of it while you can. Osaka Pro for free on YouTube, professionally shot. No commentary, but you don't need it anyway. Listen, you don't know what the hell they're saying anyway. You don't care, but you don't need it. It's fine. You got Osaka Pro. We always talk about 01 does this sometimes, and Osaka Pro does this as well. Every show starts with a rundown of everybody that's on the roster and everyone's going to be on the show. Little clip of them doing a move. a graphic pulls up and you get the name and the unit that they're in. So if you even don't know who these people are in Osaka Pro, they'll catch up and you can say, oh, that's Billy Ken Kid. All right. And guess who comes out 5 minutes later? Billy Ken Kid. It's easy to follow. It's easy to follow.
I mean, the other thing is they constantly put out shows, but the other thing they're doing is there's handhelds coming out constantly of the random house shows.
That's the interesting part that I'm surprised, because they used to come out with these professional things like once every couple of months or whatever.
Yeah.
But we're getting everything.
We're getting a lot. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th show in 2026 that they've put out on the official YouTube account. And there's at least 2, and I think 3, if I'm not mistaken, like fan cams, handhelds, like people are still doing it on fucking on the shoulder.
Other JVC, other big JVC on the shoulder handheld camera.
But there's 2 of them came out this past week, and I think there was one other earlier this year. And what's interesting about the fan cams is I started watching one of them, and one of them has the AI auto translation of the speech. Mm-hmm. And you know the ring announcer that looks like he's in the Yakuza? With the little hat and the fucking...
Yes. I don't think he looks like... I think he is in the Yakuza. But...
Yeah. So as he's talking, the AI is... And they encourage that, and they want people to do it, because he's like, if you have your cell phones or your recording devices, go ahead and take pictures. You can go ahead and record the show. You can upload it to... And then he named all these social media sites, most of which were Japanese. So they don't give a shit. They want you to record their shows and put them on fucking social media. So I don't know if that's a new policy that they have or they've been that way all along, but and maybe we just didn't notice in the past couple of years that.
Do we know who that guy is?
Who, the ring announcer?
Yeah.
I think he's just the fucking ring announcer.
Is he just a ring announcer? Because that man looks... No, I don't know, man. That guy looks like he's... Where'd Zeus find this dude? You know, I don't know.
Maybe he's a friend of the bodyguard.
I think he might be a friend of the bodyguard. I think he might be a friend of a couple other people too. He's a little, I don't know. I like him. I like the cut of the guy's jib, but I don't know if I trust him all the way. The hats.
Listen.
He's a menacing figure. I don't trust him.
Oh, Zeus might be a fan of Pearl Jam because they encourage people to record their concerts and fucking put the bootlegs online. Maybe Zeus doesn't care. He's like, bootleg our shows, put them up on YouTube. It's good fucking publicity, you know. So so if these handhelds, you're not even like, you don't even have to have any guilt. Like, they don't give a shit that people are uploading them. So, but this was not a handheld. This was a release on the official Osaka Pro YouTube, a BUSHI-DO 2026. It had the tag team title match with the winners of the tag team tournament that we talked about last week. Suzaku and Tita challenging Aran Sano and Tiger's Mask for the Osaka Pro Wrestling tag team titles. And we may as well just start right there. This match fucking rocked.
Yes, it did.
I mean, this was awesome.
Must watch.
And
gotta watch it if you're listening to this.
It's a must-watch match. If you don't watch the rest of the show, it's whatever. But there really wasn't anything else in the show that you have to watch. You have to watch this, especially if you took the time to watch the tag team tournament. There's no reason not to watch this, on top of the fact that it's a great match. It's one of the better tag team matches of the year so far, in my mind. This Aran Sano, I have fallen in love with him. This guy's great, okay? He doesn't have much in the way of charisma or look, but he is an awesome, awesome pro wrestler. Tiger's Mask, Murayama can still go. I thought he kicked ass in this fucking match. Here's a hot take, Rich. I think Aran Sano and Tiger's Mask, I think they are what people say the Knockout Brothers are.
Whoa, spicy. All right.
I listen, I like Aran Sano better than Yuto Ice.
Sano throws people around. Like he's the guy, he's like 5'8" or 5'9" or whatever, but he's tossing guys around and dropping bombs left and right, man. He's
dropping bombs. He don't have a look as good as Yuto. Yuto Ice has the better look.
Yes. And
more charisma. But Sano's the better worker. I will fight anyone to the death on that.
I don't think you're wrong about that. 22 years old. I think we're doing 30 for 30. We're getting ready for Voice of Wrestling 30 for 30. He's a strong contender to be on my list. He's great.
And I'm sorry, but Tiger's Mask
he fucking rocks.
He is in the same role as Oscar, and he smokes Oscar. That's not even a debate. Like, he is 10 times the wrestler Oscar is. And they're in the same role. I mean, Tiger's Mask role is a little different because it's the veteran teaming with the kid, but he's kind of like in the same role in the team as Sano and Ice are clearly the two young future burning stars of the team, teaming with the bigger, sort of the brute of the team is the role that Tiger's Mask is in, similar to Oscar. But he is a much better worker than Oscar. I mean, that one I won't even entertain a debate. And he was great here. And I thought that Suzaku and Tita, they brought that same great energy that they've been bringing since Tita turned. The champions retain. And all I was thinking as I was watching this match unspoiled was the right finish here is Tita losing. And I'm going to tell you why, and I want to know if you agree with me. Ever since they turned him, he's won everything. They've put him over as strong as you can. He wins every match. It was time now. They've established him as a crowd favorite and a big-time future babyface. He can eat an L. This was where where you finally beat the guy. Okay, you established him. He won a bunch of matches that you maybe didn't expect him to win. He wins the tag team tournament, but Sano beats him here. It was Sano over Tita at the finish, and I thought that was just chef's kiss booking. This is where he needed to lose, and now you're like, okay, we turned him, we established him. He won the tag tournament. He's got some W's over Rogue Nation, but he's not quite good enough to be a champion yet. What are your thoughts?
No, I liked it. And I think what was really cool about it, too, is even when he lost, they kind of focused on him, and he had this look of like, God damn it, like, man, and there's that disappointment of a guy who's had a ton of momentum and has been winning things left and right, but you don't want him to be unstoppable. You don't need him to be just a complete, buzzsaw through the entire company. You want him to, go for this title, not win it, and now he can start to chase again. Now he's
not belting the guy up already. What else do you do?
Exactly, yeah. Then you've told every story you need to tell with the guy already. So, now it's like, all right, like, I got this momentum, and I got there, and I was, inches away from winning this title, seconds away from winning this title. Didn't happen. All right, well, now build myself back up, get myself back to this opportunity, get back to these tag team titles, do whatever I got to do. So, no, I thought, because I went into this match unspoiled, and I thought, well, for sure he's going to win because and then when it was over, I was like, no, that's the better match. The better story is to have him, work his way back up. The chase is often, especially in these small, and you talk about this all the time when you talk about 0-1. And we talk about a lot with All Japan too, is when you have these really small rosters and these really, really, really small, Japanese indies, the chase you have to be very careful with the chase, because if a guy just wins a title, that's kind of it. You know what I mean? There's not many other stories to tell with the guy because there's not many other people on the roster. So if he just, debuts or turns, wins a bunch of matches, then wins the title, it's kind of like, all right, well, now what? So I think this is, it's a good idea to have him kind of get to a certain level, and now it's like, all right, he's not quite there yet, but they sold the disappointment well. He sold the disappointment well, and I think Sano and Tiger's match were the better option here, and great match. Again, go out of your way to watch this.
There's hierarchy concerns too, because Sano is in the same unit. They're both Verta X, and you don't want to have this guy coming in and start beating the guys at the top of the unit. Matsufusa, Sano, they're the top guys here. So Tita's the new guy in the group. If he comes out here and he beats Sano and wins his title off of him, it's like, now it's going to take, you need to take your time here with Tita. Take your time. He's clearly a crowd connection with him. These fans love him. It seems like the kids and the women really love him. So there's no rush. It's not going to cool him off. He simply lost to somebody who's higher in the hierarchy, not just in the promotion, but in his own stable. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I am just in love with this Sano Tiger's Mask tag team. They just have the energy that I want in my wrestling right now. And I just adored this match. I thought it was great. I thought it was one of the better tag team matches I've seen this year.
I'm a sucker for a good tag team of like a really, really young guy and an old grizzled dude. And they don't come, a whole grizzled Tiger's Mask and Sano. This is what you could be doing with Tiger Mask in New Japan. They just don't really do much with them anymore. But this is, my ideal tag team in Japan is like a really, really young guy and then an old grizzled dude.
Where the young guy is the focus.
Yes, of course.
Because you see it in reverse a lot, where the veteran is the star and the young guy just eats all the pins.
No, exactly. I want it this way.
Yeah. And Murayama he's such a good worker that he can hold everything together. This roster has a lot of good workers. You don't have to worry about a lot of the guys in this company, and they all work with each other all the time, and they know each other inside and out. But if you're in a situation with some inexperienced wrestlers or whatever, he's a perfect glue guy. It's just such a great tag team, and I just thought this match was really great. So as far as the rest of the show, there's really not a ton to talk about. The opener
I didn't love the rest of the show, to be honest.
It wasn't a great. No, the rest of the show. There's so you had Kohei Konashita and Sho Mizuno, who's another good young wrestler. They defeat Billy Ken Kid and Habu. It was fine. I mean, there's just nothing really else. It was a
good opener. It's a good opener.
Gentleman's 3 opener. Then you had your comedy 6-man. You're always going to have some Ebisan and Kushinobu Kamen on these Osaka shows.
And they're as far as comedy wrestlers go, these guys are actually funny. Now, the shtick sometimes gets a little old.
Yeah.
They kind of do the same shtick all the time. But I will say, in the pantheon of comedy wrestlers, I will take these guys over every American comedy wrestler ever.
I've seen their act for 20 years now.
Right.
It's an immediate fast forward to the end of the match for me, and I'll watch the finish, and that's what this was. And then there was a 6-man match with Rogue Nation going over Ryuya Matsufusa, Ultimate Spider Jr., and Kuzuaki Mihara. It was very much like a New Japan unit versus unit 6-man in the mid-card of a show where everybody chooses to work hard. Is that fair?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're flying around. This was pretty good. They were flying around and working their asses off, but... and like you said, it kind of a theme for the night would be that, the guys that have all the momentum kind of stamp down a little bit with, because I thought with Matsufusa, did he take the pinfall? I thought he did.
I don't have in my notes who took the pinfall, so you might be right. I'll take your word for it.
I thought he did, and I thought that was interesting booking. And then, with Tito, who lost in the main event, too, I thought it was interesting to do that, but...
Yeah, but it was like a high energy version of like a vintage LIJ versus Chaos 6-man tag in like 2017 or something, where one of the ones where they all work hard, where before Okada decided he didn't have to work hard anymore, Naito isn't wearing the t-shirt and everyone's out there killing it. That's what this was. This was high effort, high energy. And then they did a title change of the comedy title. So this company has a comedy title. And Tako Yukita loses that title to that big fat guy with the white face paint.
Bad and not funny. And is he supposed to be funny? Because he's not funny at all. Like, I don't know.
Well, this is the comedy title, but I
wasn't laughing.
I wasn't slapping my knee watching.
No, they just had a bad wrestling match. Where was the humor in that? But
it's pretty brutal. But a lot of times the Japanese comedy doesn't land with me. So who the fuck knows? People think these DDT shows are a riot too, and I don't think I've ever even cracked a smile watching DDT. So anyway, look, the entire show is basically a skip, except for the main event.
The main event's a must-watch. Must-watch.
Unless you're so locked into Osaka like I am right now, and you're just watching the rest of it because you just want to watch it. Nothing else is essential. Maybe the 6-man tag. That was really good.
That was solid. You know what? Here's the thing, too. They're an hour and 40 minutes. The videos.
What's the rush? Yeah.
So if you just want to hit play, I mean, if you want to skip the comedy stuff, you can, but you could watch the whole show in an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah,
so why not?
Where the fuck you gotta be?
Yeah,
just watch the fucking show.
Yeah, hit play and deal with it. So Osaka Pro. I'm glad because they used to upload these shows, and I would watch them. Like we would do the flagship, and I have it on in the background or whatever when they'd upload a show, and it was so few and far between that there was really no point in talking about him, and to be like, all right, well, we have this one show from April, and then we wouldn't get anything until July or whatever, so it wasn't even worth talking about. But
you don't know what's going on,
right? You didn't, but you can follow what's happening in the company right now. This is really cool. So I hope it continues. I really hope it does. And my Yakuza guy wants it to keep happening, so I want it to keep happening too. So
it could stop at any time. Who knows with them, but it seems like maybe there'll be some handhelds coming out regardless. And that would be, if they stop putting shit out on YouTube, but people keep putting out the handhelds,
that works too.
Yeah. At least a way to kind of keep up. And then if even the bigger shows aren't on YouTube anymore, you can at least see the results, right? And follow it that way. But I'm pretty locked in on it. It's entertaining. I mean, it's holding my attention, which is not easy to do with pro wrestling these days. So
yeah,
same thing for 0-1, which I'll talk about on a plus.
Okay. Yeah, I think with Osaka Pro and really with 0-1 too, I've been enjoying 0-1 when I've been watching it. But one of the things that I like about Osaka Pro is it's like you said, it's no bullshit for the most part. You have your comedy stuff, but it's very obvious this is the comedy stuff or whatever. And the work is it reminds you, if you're a Dragon Gate fan or you've watched Dragon Gate, you enjoy Dragon Gate. It's not to the level of peak Dragon Gate, but a lot of these guys have that same sort of Dragon Gate vibes. It's Lucharizo and it's a break off of Michi Pro, and it's got all that sort of stuff too.
A lot of Dragon System wrestlers,
and these guys are just machines. They're well-oiled machines, and they throw some great kicks. What I noticed on this show was the kicks. These guys are just kicking the shit out of each other. Everyone's in the right place at the right time. The dives are all working out perfectly. Like you're not watching like dog shit wrestlers. Like, you know what I mean? There might be. Everybody there is pretty good. There's a certain for the real matches.
This is how I'm going to describe Osaka Pro. You tell me if it's accurate. This is major league talent where a lot of them have a minor league look. That's what it is.
Yes, yeah, that works.
These are 90% of this roster is major league talent.
Oh, maybe Billy Ken Kid is like, if he had the chance.
He's old. I mean, he's older, but
he fucking rules. He'd be one of the best workers in the world if he had a chance to, or did.
Really, it's the young guys.
Yeah,
it's the younger guys that are they are legitimate major league talent. Listen, the guys in their 20s in this promotion are absolutely better workers than a lot of the people in their 20s in AEW. I mean, that's easy.
Sano's 22 years old.
Sano's 22 years old. Compare him to like the top flight guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even close who's the better wrestler. And I'm not just specifically picking on them. You can it's just, Julia Hart or something. Like, it's not even close. These are major league workers, who unfortunately in a lot of cases, like the Rogue Nation guys, they look minor league.
Yes.
You see Rogue Nation and you're like, oh, these are micro indie heels.
Right. They're short and they're kind of chubby.
These guys are, right. None of them are in shape.
Right.
They're 5'6" chubby guys with bad gear. And it's like, but then the match starts and you're like, holy shit, these guys can go. And they know what they're doing. They know how to put a match together. They know how to put finishes together. I've seen some such creative finishes from these guys. Why? Because they work all the fucking time, and they work all the fucking time with each other. It's just like you said it. It's that Lucha Rezo Dragon System shit. If you got a promotion full of those guys, and there's enough of them that can go, it's gonna come across major league bell to bell. It's always been that way. It's been that way for years, and they just happen to have a very good roster right now. And they're not pushing they're not pushing Billy Ken Kid or Tsubasa or these older dudes. Like, they're pushing the younger guys.
Yeah, Bodygur is not.
Bodygur, yeah, the Bodygur.
And the reason we're saying Bodygur is when they do their little video package at the beginning and they go, Billy Ken Kid or whatever, they go, boom, boom, Bodygur, and it says Bodygur.
Bodygur.
It says the Body GER, and he's the Bodygur.
The opening credits, you mean? The opening credits. Yeah.
And it is, it is that Bodyguard, in case anybody is wondering. It is the
Bodyguard.
That Bodyguard.
That one. Yeah. Collega, All Japan.
Still in pretty good shape. Probably too good a shape for his age, but.
Well, it's.
Still in good shape. Yeah.
I'm sure he's on the juice still, right?
Yeah. No. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I didn't know he was at the Bodyguard on Twitter as well.
The Bodygur.
At the Bodygur. I didn't know that. All right, good for him.
Well, remember, he's an Osaka original like his boy Zeus. It's just full circle for him. He did it. He was in All Japan forever, and then...
Oh, he's very sad about the Shinjuku FACE. Translated, so I don't know, translated, so take it with a grain of salt. It is the X translation, but the Bodygur says, another cherished venue filled with memories is gone. Thank you very much. So
yeah, it's a hit. It's a real hit. Did he own Collega, or was that someone else? I can't remember.
I want to say he did. Let me see.
I think he owned it at some point. Where's Odd Job when you need him?
I thought he did, but let me try to see see. Yeah, it was Bodyguard. He started it. I don't know if he finished it. He started it, though.
But he owned it. He owned it at one point. Right?
It was his idea. It was, hey, we're going to put this place. I'm an Osaka original. I'm going to have a company that runs in Osaka. The problem that he did was I'm going to run a show every day, and that was unsustainable.
Literally every day in the Collega Studios. Yeah.
That's ambitious.
Yep.
That's a little too much to run it every single day.
And it was all uploaded to YouTube.
Yes. Yeah, I think the whole. Let me see if everything is still available. I think you could still watch every.
That's crazy.
Let's see. This might.
There was good talent on those shows.
Oh, members only content. I need to be a subscriber to the Collega World.
Pay to
what? I gotta be a member.
You gotta pay to
Collega
watch
World. Get out of here! I'm not
doing?
paying for this shit.
No one's paying for Collega YouTube uploads.
What are you thinking, Bodyguard? What the hell are you doing, brother?
Fuck out of here. To watch Dylan James and fucking
yeah, the Bodyguard wants me to pay.
Andy Wu. Fucking maybe Taz is paying to watch Andy Wu.
15 people were at the show. It says Collega Studio capacity 15 people for the show from February 8th, 2021, and the Bodyguard wants me to pay to watch it.
Did they tell you how many people?
This is on Cage Match. On Cage Match, it says 15, capacity 15.
15 attendance.
15. Yes. You want? I don't know how many people are watching the YouTube video or whatever.
That's what I thought you meant.
No,
that's what I thought you meant. Some of those shows were loaded though, with a lot of good talent.
Yeah,
so, but their business model clearly was not
not a successful one. No, not at all. But that's our man, the Bodyguard, and that is Osaka Pro, and that is the Flagship podcast. So we will see you guys this Sunday night, Instant Reaction Live, AEW Revolution 2026, $10 tier, Flagship, patreon.com. Make sure you're on there. And as well, and hey, I would subscribe right now because there's a lot of stuff for you available right now at flagshippatreon.com. You got the Thursday Dynamite review. I had a brand new episode of Why You Should Watch. I got some written content up here about aggregators at it again with another really bad wrestling media day. It's a day that ends in Y, so of course there's another bad wrestling media day, but this one's really bad. Let's talk about that. Bunch of other stuff available for you guys at flagshippatreon.com. The content does not stop. Joe just said you're going to get a Flagship Plus at some point. You got AAA Rey de Reyes coming up. We'll cover that at some form or fashion. There was a Flagship Plus on Sunday, so tons of content for you guys available at flagshippatreon.com. So make sure you subscribe, and again, be there for Sunday night's Instant Reaction Live. So, all right, that is it for us. That is Joe. I'm Rich. Talk to you again next time. Take care. Bye.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Hey everybody, my name is Jesse Collins and I am the host of the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, a show right here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. On the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, we take a deep look at individual issues and stories that are going on in the wrestling world. Each episode is about a different topic and we take a thorough and educated look at things ranging from current booking trends to breakdowns on individual performers and angles to investigations into different fan cultures across the industry. In addition, we keep a close eye on the wrestling media, and as a professional journalist, I bring a unique perspective to how current issues in wrestling are being covered and discussed through the wrestling media. We have a revolving series of guests from across wrestling punditry joining us on each episode, and we hope that you make the choice to give us a listen on wherever you get your podcast from.